Y'all almost ready for this? Oh yeah, it's been a hot minute. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. We about to make it hot on this one. We got things to cover, so let's get going. What's up? What's up? What's up? It is the Bad Wolf. What's going on, guys? I know I have not been on in a while. I will explain myself. But first, how are you guys doing? Let's get to the VIPs here. And that means everybody. If you're watching, you're a VIP in my book. Why? Because everybody who pays attention to me, what I have to say, my life, who cares about me, people out there who've prayed for me, you guys are very important. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So let me get comfortable and we're going to get at it. Oh, damn. Why you bother me? All right, guys. All right. So once again, it is the Bad Wolf. All right. For those people who don't know, like everybody else, I have my good days, my bad days. Normal things in life come up. It is what it is. And so I've just been working extra hard, chilling, and, just stressed out. Let's get it. Let's stop trying to be professional here. So every day we've been putting these people on blast, right? We've been winning court cases, small ones, big ones. Largest one we've won is 1.5 million on right to travel. We've got people all over the board who are learning this and are being successful. So shout goes out to all of them. Speaking of shout outs, let's see. Shout goes out to the D. Nakia Dope Discussion channel. That female spits hot fire. All right, not exactly on the same topics that we talk about here, but she is shedding and spreading the light out there. And that's the whole thing. I had some people go to me, well, Wolf, why are you trying to change people? And at first I felt bad because it sounded like I'm trying to just jump in people's brains and rewire them. And then I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. For those people who want it or will allow it or are open to it. See, there's nothing wrong with learning new things and growing. I don't want to necessarily like fix anybody, but if I can present information to help you live better, think better, move better, why would you be adverse to that? So the person who said that, a longtime friend of mine, my thoughts on that is because I know her life, and it's the fact that she's never had anybody to be there for her really except for me. And so she's had to learn to be very, single, isolated, masculine, and just living wild. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's how she chooses, but always be open to living life a little bit better every single day. So a shot goes out also to the Jump Out girls, because I know they're always watching. Of course, my man's The Fearless Floyd show. Shot goes out to A6, Knowledge Well Media, Lex Luthor. He knows who he is, though I highly doubt he watches. Who else? The Lighthouse, Brandon Joe Williams, Eternal Zion, and all the rest of the people out there. Was it TJ Sovereign Living? And of course, Tyler over at World Group, who helped supply some of the files that we have on Black Site 32. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions to trying to wake people up to constitutional law. So it's funny how, these haters out there. So somebody literally right now is spending money to advertise underneath my channel, okay, through YouTube, to put the sovereign C word underneath there to try to dissuade people from learning the truth. Sorry, Bucko, but the truth is already out there. The bell's been rung, and now it's been heard. It cannot be unheard. So I could still turn off my channel, and guess what? That's not going to stop the good people out there from being wolves. All right? They've got a taste of the blood in the water. So guess what? They're going to run with it. So, but I think it's cute. And to these other trolls out there who are supposed to be brothers, some of which are the same color, some of which are white, but having their own YouTube channels talking trash about me, the funniest part about it is that they've been helping to increase the numbers. We're doing roughly 100 at least a day on people subscribing. Now, to me, that's incredible. All right. So, yeah, as much as I want to say like they're trash, and they are, because either they're supposed to be brothers, or we're all supposed to be in this together, moving the same way, but people want to go tit for tat. That sounds like the maritime system, the very people we're trying to get away from. And you're attacking people because I show people how to get to the open hole in the gate to get freedoms differently than you. That's sad. That's sad. But I guess there are some people out there who have to do the devil's work. It is what it is. I mean, if you're going to have a hero, you got to have a villain. It is what it is. All right. So with that being said, let's talk about some other things real quick. We may be joined by some other people, maybe even the finest thing walking and some other people. We'll see if they got the link and they want to join. If not, it's cool. We're going to run with this. Once I get done with my spiel, I'm going to go through the comments, and we're just going to let the, show flow as we always do. As always, guys, make sure you guys hit that bell, like, subscribe. Let's get those likes up. I appreciate that. And understand that if you guys don't see my videos in a while, go to my main YouTube channel, because we may be shadow banned. Imagine that. Because guess what? Those elite peoples and agencies and governmentalities out there still watch my channel. I've been hearing so many things about things in the back half. It is amazing. And we're going to bring you guys a good chunk of all of that stuff. As always, support. Buy copper, everything, wear copper. This one actually has copper and magnets in there. So that's good. Drink out of copper. Shot and care to my cousins out there, and also to my cousin A6 and anybody else who supports. I appreciate you guys. All right. So a couple of quick things. For those people who have been either in my Telegram group or groups, on my TikTok, because yes, I have a TikTok channel, though on there I talk about a little bit of everything, and people have been very receptive to that channel. So I'm going to jump from there also to my backup YouTube channel, which is the B.A.D.W.O.L.F media channel. I will be on there talking a little bit more different than I talk on this channel, because I get to talk about anything and everything on there. So help me get that channel off the ground. I think we only have like 3,000 people right there. I haven't made a big thing about it, but that's going to be I'm going to talk about relationships, ghosts, crazy things I've been through, males, females, the world, all that jazzy stuff. All right. So I'm going to get just a skosh here about that. So real quick, for those people who are following me, and I told you what to invest in because of the tips I got in the back half, just know that, people made a significant amount of money. So when I tell you guys lightly, hey, this might be a good thing to, put a couple of bucks in, all I'm going to say is this. For those people who put the money in, you should have made at least double what you put in. All right. So these people, there are people out there who know what's moving and on the inside. And sometimes I'm a plug between them, or a pass through. I get stuff from people all the time. So if you guys do have some tips, tricks, techniques about where you work, nothing illegal or that it's going to get you in trouble. But anything good, like if you work at the post office or the police station and you want to share some things, hit me up. Just let me know what it is. Make sure that you can prove what it is. Or if you just want me to know and not the whole world, say that too. All right. Because I keep things under my hat for certain reasons. All right. So as of right now, I'm actually on vacation. So the consults will be basically zero at this time. And if I did my job, you shouldn't even be able to sign up for them right now. But about 2 weeks before I come off vacation, all that will be back up and running. I just don't want to have a huge backlog for people waiting like God knows how long. So sorry, it's just what it is. My lady wants to make sure that we have some time and family and friends. And I need to definitely take a break because putting out all these fires on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, and I almost don't take any time, real serious time off, like no continuous. It just, to be honest, I'm not even gonna lie, like it causes my my mental health to just kind of come down after a while, and I start like not caring as much. So I need at least 2 times a year, just a whole month or so off. So, but I will be back on, of course, doing what we're doing. And once I get done filming, like I got about 10 videos in the hopper, maybe 15. I got about another 100 videos I'm gonna make. After that, I'm going to take a break from making videos. I'm going to get back into the books because I will have exhausted all of the information that I have in this melon, this Egyptian pharaoh head that I have right here. And I need to learn new things. I still will be doing consults in the same time. I may even jump over on the B.A.D.W.O.L.F media channel and just talk about things casually where I don't have to think so hard, on a daily basis. Plus, I got a lot of these books here that I have not finished. And though I said I wasn't going to buy any more books, yeah, I might have a habit. Okay. So, yes. All right. So, next, real quick. Ooh, the Tyson fight. Whoa, man. Now, for those people who don't know, I wasn't modeling, I wasn't acting. I was behind the scenes and a lot of stuff for a number of years. So I know and see things differently. And there's so much to go into it, but yeah, that was all entertainment. All right. If you slow the videos down, you see the cues and things of that nature, you can definitely tell what was going on. So to the people who lost money, sorry, I would have lost money too. I forgot that whoever has the most money on the table is usually the one who sets the rules. So in this case, it wasn't a struggling Mike Tyson. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Court process and successes. We've had people winning. I won't mention their cases, but everything from, we'll just say, partial nudity to right to travel to all these other things. So the seminars are coming. There's going to be some free ones and there's going to be some paid ones. Obviously, the more fire ones that like how to put your court case together, what to do, when having the timing to do, all that are going to be those, but we're going to have some on health and whatever else. And then we're going to bring some where potentially me, Floyd, and LaFleur doing trusts and all these other things. We're going to have people who talk about health and wealth and whatever else. And we're going to have this thing where maybe once a month, those specialists are going to speak. And so some of those will be paid and some of those will be for free. And of course, anybody who works with me, no matter what, if they show up, if they want to do it for free, they'll do it for free. If not, I'll make sure that they're compensated. All right. So other than that, I've been out in the real world. Normally, it's just usually me doing these videos, the books, taking care of my lady and family and our extended family and all that kind of stuff, to which I throw shots and love out to those people. So all those people who are suffering or in the hospital right now or not doing so well, positive energy and blessings to you guys, speedy recovery. And to the Twan Mack family out there, who was like a brother to me. I didn't know him for forever. We didn't grow up, but in the last number of years, we got really cool. He's an artist, primarily from our area. but he's traveled the world with all multiple bands and people that I've only dreamed about getting to know. And he's like, man, I got you, bro. You can come with me. I'm finna hook you up. I'm finna introduce you to, you know, whichever, you know, Cypress Hill and Diggable Planets and just all these, you know, whatever. I'm like, you know them like that? He's like, yeah. He's like, I know Ghostface. I know. So I'm just like, okay, I didn't even know you had it like that, bro. So he did pass away. So condolences out to the family. And play on, Big Pimpin'. We miss you and appreciate you. All right. So let's jump into a couple of questions and comments I see. And then I see somebody with a rather sexy shirt on in my green room. So we're going to bring him out in just a little bit. So bear with me, you know, Mr. Ravishing. We'll get to you in just a moment. So, yeah, put your shirt on. Back there with your shirt on, over your shoulder, just Batman nipples out. Oh, he's changing shirts now. Okay, all right. See, he's prepared. Here I am just with no sponsoring, but you know, my regular shirt. I might have to switch shirts then if we're gonna have that kind of, you know, blue steel party tonight. All right. So let's see what we got here. So we got some new members. What's going on? Thank you for joining. The Mad Bomber. Yes, thank you for being here. Red Pill being here. What's going on? Unincorporated Florida. Yes, there we go. There we go. Man, do they not like it when we use their terms. And to answer your question, a sole proprietor or an LLC depends on what you do. I mean, both can be advantageous depending on what you're going to use them for. So I can't really tell you one or the other without really knowing what you're really doing, but look at the advantages of both. I mean, you know, like I said, just depends on what you're doing it for. So maybe hit me up later, or ask a more slightly in-depth question. OG, what's going on? OG, triple OG. Can't wait for this. You've got me studying my ass off. Much gratitude. Hey, appreciate you, OG, because you know how it was back in the day for us. Like, people weren't studying this. You know what I mean? What's going on, Red Pill? Let's rev up that Batmobile. John Hart. She's under a tarp right now, stored up. So she won't be making no appearances until it gets nice outside. But stupidly enough, I might be buying another nice used, because I ain't making that kind of money. And I still, no matter what, even if I do make a lot of money one day, like to buy used solid cars. I don't like to buy anything really brand new. Maybe that'll change if I win the mega bucks or something. We'll see. Thank you for all the time and information here for this. Kanisha, what's going on, Miss Lady? Hey, Red Pill, I appreciate you too, man. You know, like I guess you're a man. I shouldn't say that, judging by the car, but don't know. Either way, I appreciate you as a person and love the vehicle. First time I'm getting this information, this notification in 4 years. Yeah, bro, because I already broke it down before. They basically, I got some word from some people who work in YouTube, and of course, we'll just say this is unofficial, but they don't market all 75,000 people whoever, say I only have 30,000 who signed up to be notified. They'll only hit like 10% of you guys. So it'll be like hit or miss here and there. So you guys not everybody gets it. And they do that because they don't want me to have that kind of, anybody on YouTube to have that kind of pull where you can just market 75,000 or 1 million people all in an instant. Like they have a kind of a little control thing. Nissan, what's going on? This man right here, you really should have put, hey, another thing. For all you guys out there who want to advertise a little bit, your website or your product or what state you're from or your group, feel free to put it in the links. If I see it and I've got time, I'll flash it up. As long as it's something positive and nothing adult, nothing sketchy, nothing Diddy-like, the diddler. Nothing like that, all right? But this man right here has got some great things going on. Maybe he'll put up his site later on. I don't know. Speaking of sites, if you guys check out the ticker tape down below, now you guys can reach me by typing in B.A.D.W.O.L.F unincorporated and jamesclovett.com. All right. Those will all take you to Black Site 32. What's going on, Lady Collins? Greetings. Where have you been? Where you been at? I've just been at the crib chilling and trying to, if I had to be honest, I'll put myself out there. I ain't like that. I've been drinking less. I've been trying to exercise more. My lady has been working on me with trying to have better mental health workflow and, all that good jazz, which has been hard. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not superhuman. But I've been good for her. She's been good for me. So, but yeah, I just been laying low. It was just a lot of, for those people who don't know, this time of year is really hard for me because most of my family all died like at this time. And starting with like my mom, my adopted little sister, my father, my uncle. And it's just been, kind of wild. So it's a little rough in this season, but, we get through it. We all have things. Hey, appreciate you, Blue. Appreciate you. Haha, Body 25. I'm seeing some names out there, like the jacket. Yeah, it's not as, I took a chance on one of these Facebook, advertisements. They had this cold looking dude on there with that jacket. I was like, dang, when I got it was not the same as the image. All right. It's still decent. I'll use it for bumming around, but it wasn't as cold. So be careful what you get on there. Can you elaborate more about flying in the private from a private airstrip to a private airstrip? You trying to get me in trouble? Okay, so one of the things that people don't know, if I flash your information and I don't say hi right back, just know that I'm talking, but it means a lot that you're up there. So I just I'm acknowledging it. So, leaving the country they're not really going to stop you. It's the getting back in can be the hard part. And depending on the country that you go through, you may have troubles getting in and out of certain places. All right. But if you contact them ahead of time and you set things up, you'll be surprised that though it takes time and effort, you can pretty much do and go almost wherever you want to go. But for a lot of people, if you have the option, if you have a private plane, what's going on, Lauren? There's the one of the most intelligent young ladies over here and studying, part of our inner group. Super awesome. Love you in the picture of the little one, looking as beautiful as your mom. You guys take care. Appreciate you for supporting. You can fly in and out of the country other than informing the FAA where you're going and essentially who's on the plane. But yeah, you can come and go out of the country. The problem for us regular people is that, what's going on, Tony? Is that we don't have a private plane to do that. Now, if you listen to like T.I., and I hate to bring up the diddler, but T.I. says in his rap song, real niggas move things on private planes. When you have a private plane, you can basically come and go as you want. All right. Unless you're the diddler and then they shut down your, any points. But educationally, if you had a private airstrip here and there was somebody outside of the area who had one, you may be able to, come and go as you choose because you have that actually as a international right. But the regular people, yeah, we have to go through checkpoints and stuff like that. And it is what it is because these are the checks and balances. And those are privileges for the privileged, we'll just say. All right. Bronze, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. But of course, I haven't been on here in a hot minute either. So that's on me. But appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the support. Can you speak on the difference between Native American and American Indian? I identify as American Indian. Well, the short version, and don't quote me, but obviously those of us who are born here can be considered American Indians, but Native Americans are the ones who have indigenous families who've been here since time immemorial. So they have a lineage and they are fully recognized, where all of the rest of us, if you were born here, are literally Indians. I mean, we're native to America. So don't quote me on the exact terminology for the two, but that's roughly what the difference is between the two. One has an indigenous line. The rest of us were just born here, and we were born here in the private. What's going on, True? So that's basically what's going on, Ezekiel Bay. Loving the picture too, by the way. It's a nice ride. West. How can you change anything? People are just being restored to their original selves. Well, it's the fact that people didn't even know about who they were as a birthright. And as I've told people, thousands of people over the years who've called me, asked me, emailed me, can you change my status? Can you change this? There's nothing to change. You already have it. You were born with it. If you're born in Florida, you're Floridian. New York is a New Yorker. That's it. You already have it. So we're not changing really anything, but there are, what's going on, sister? But there are, you can, if you choose, to go into the various systems and update them. But as we're learning now, we don't even really need to do that. All we need to know is who we are. And then, like the wealthy people, create private entities to operate our private side with. That's it. You know, so I still recommend creating or having an affidavit. If you choose to send them out, that's great. Half the time they're going to throw them away, to be honest. The other time they're going to keep them. Some may update your things. The government is more likely going to do things than the states. Remember, there's two separations there. We've been thinking the government is the boogity man and all evil. And really, it's the states and these corporations that have been doing a majority of the BS work and then going, oh, yeah, hey, we're with you people, stupid government. And then they're the ones behind the scenes pulling all the strings. Like a lot of the stuff I've even been learning lately, like the government really doesn't even take like marriage. The government doesn't really have like a marriage license. That's a state thing. You're supposed to actually create your own common law agreement between you, which is nothing but a contract. It's an agreement. It's an accord. So when you go to the government, oh, they're doing me wrong with the marriage. You're like, can't help you. That's for the rubes. Move away, son. You bother me. That's all that really is. You know, so there's a lot of little things that what's going on, Kim, that you know, I'm still learning and that they're trying to keep the lid on. What's going on, Fred? Oh, there he is, flowing with the show, Fierce Floyd. All right, so let's bring him in because he's sitting back in the green room, and I cannot deny the world his debonaireness, sexiness, and of course the shirts. The living legend himself, international man of white chocolate mystery, Fearless Floyd. Oh, you got unmute your mic, brother. I think you're still muted.
White chocolate raspberry. Diversity. Got to be
yes.
Got to be politically correct. Remember when that was a thing? Got to be politically incorrect.
Yeah, got to be careful what you say on YouTube and in the world and to these groups and that groups. Not so much for me. What's going on, brother? How you living?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for inviting me on the show. As always, it's an honor and grace to be here. For those of you that I won't talk to before the holiday season, happy holidays to everybody. If you don't know who I am the Fearless Floyd Show across every social media platform, YouTube. I'm banned for 2 weeks. That's why I haven't been publishing lately. I do a show Tuesday through Friday at high noon Central Time. So look forward to that. I want to answer a quick question somebody had in here on the federal rules of civil procedure. This right here is Texas Rules of Court, which encompasses the federal rules of civil procedure, federal rules of evidence, federal rules of appellate procedure, Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a West publishing book. Okay. And this one's from 2010. And I actually brought this out of the penitentiary with me, TDCJ. I don't think this one's stamped, but they stamp your book. So anyway, you can pick these up dirt cheap. But if you want what do they call those books? The ones that you would read instead of reading the whole book. The Cliff Notes.
Oh, yeah.
This is O'Connor's. right? Yeah, right here. Oh, yeah, O'Connor's. Okay, that's a former First District Court of Appeals judge here in Houston, justice actually here in Houston. This one just happens to be the Texas Business Commerce Code Plus. The plus means it has forms in it. This is the actual publishing textbooks they use for the Southwest Texas College of Law downtown Houston. But you can order these books, a teacher's edition, a student edition, and then the public edition. You can find these like at A.B.W.O.L.F. You can pick up this one, and this one's like 2016, 2017. And when you're talking about the rules of civil procedure, very rarely do the rules ever change. So when you finally decide what rules you're going to apply to your legal remedy, go vet those and double check, make sure they're all still up to date. So for, price of a Happy Meal at McDonald's or whatever, you can go pick you up one of these books online somewhere, Amazon or something like that. So the federal rules of civil procedure are, when you read them, the majority of them aren't going to make sense to a civil proceeding, but they're going to make absolute perfect sense when you come to a commercial proceeding. So if you read them in a commercial mindset, they'll make sense. If you're like litigating in a civil case in federal court, most of them don't make sense. They just like, how does that even apply? And I was doing that before I learned about the UCC and commercial law. So once I started learning about that, it all clicked. It went, oh, okay, now I know why I was having so much trouble in federal court trying to apply the civil rules of procedure to my proceedings because they didn't fit. It's like putting a square peg in a round hole. So there you go on that. I hope I answered your question on that. I've covered my 2-week ban. So I want to tell you guys.
Hey, Floyd, tell them where to find you, first of all, brother. Give them some direction.
TheFearlessFloydShow.com is my website. The Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com is my email. Now, I want to share something with you guys.
And what can they find there, sir?
Pardon?
What can they find there? Give them the whole spiel, man.
Oh, I'll get to it in a second here. I want to go through this list before I forget.
All right.
Because what I'm fixing to tell you guys right now is going to blow your freaking mind. Okay? As you guys know, I am a longtime friend of Dr. Edward Group, world-renowned health coach. He owns the Global Healing Institute, globalhealing.com, sells supplements. He got in the supplement business because of me. Absolutely. So him and I had we spoke for at least an hour on Zoom today. For those of you who don't know, he's been nominated to be part of R.F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s team at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Absolutely. You heard me correctly. So I have the inside track on a ton of information, what's going on in the Trump administration as it proceeds to the inauguration day. Ed was so gracious to reach out his hand and said, hey, you want to come help? Absolutely. So you guys right now, that's who I am, where I am with all this. You can vet it all. If you go to Scotty Tarvin on Facebook and you look at my image picture, you're going to see this big group picture and this idiot in the background standing up doing this. Well, that would be me. But Ed and his now wife are both in that picture. Absolutely. With my baby mama. So I will have some good news coming up for the future of us, as James was telling you about health, exercise, all that. So something good's coming. For those of you who don't know and don't follow me over on YouTube at the Fearless Floyd Show, I did an undercover video. I went into Anna Von Reitz's bank at 2525 North Loop West, Houston, Texas, 77006, I believe. Yeah. I went in there with a microphone. I had Jesse sitting out in the lobby recording the whole thing with my cell phone, and I had my Bluetooth mics on, and went in and got the whole 9 yards. And it's not a bank. Okay. The real banks, and where do wealthy people go hide their money? That place. All right. So the bank is fake. Do not give a dime to Anna von Reitz. Avoid her with every power you have. David Lester Straight, MIA. Haven't heard from him in quite a while. His wife, girlfriend, whatever, Bonnie Thomas Straight, she's still in Johnson County Jail. She did not last 60 days out on parole before they revoked her parole, and she's on a parole hold in Johnson County, Texas. Okay, that's David Lester Straight. That's the guy that can get you out of jail, get you out of all these jams. So there you go. Y'all can go look that up. As James is, let me go here. As James has been talking about having successes in courts and having law enforcement come over and kind of join the team, as we say. Well, I had somebody reach out to me who's an influential person in his category who needed some legal assistance. So he broke down his case to me, and he had possession of a deadly weapon. I was like, oh, really? Okay, well, tell me about it. So he told me the story. I went and read the record. I said, all right, I'll get back with you. 20 minutes later, bam, here's a Pennsylvania Supreme Court case on point that just came out 2 months ago. Boom, there you go. So he sent it to his lawyer, and his lawyer started bucking back. He's like, man, you got to talk to my lawyer. I was like, no problem. Put him on the phone. So me, him, and his attorney got on there, and I got the attorney to practice medicine without a license. Okay, all this is recorded, and then violate his client's constitutional rights, all in this conversation, and then beg me and beg Jeff to send Jeff's money back to him. Absolutely. So Jeff went into court last week, and guess what happened? Case dismissed. Boom. We have a winner. So, yeah, that attorney retired. He went and got him another attorney who was amenable to everything. However, how I handled that case, to give you a brief nutshell, is I told Jeff that you have to go outside of the traditional norms, how they handle cases, because you're waiting on your attorney to file a motion of discovery. You're waiting on the prosecution to surrender the evidence if they're going to give you all the evidence. So you have to take the initiative to go get all this evidence yourself through a FOIA or open records request or whatever, through the public information officer for the law enforcement agency that you had the encounter with, et cetera, et cetera. When we do these seminars that James is alluding to, I'll go into more of this. We'll set up some categorization so we can kind of give you a little opinion about the procedures that you should follow on those particular things. But I just wanted to let you guys know that when people reach out to me, most of the time the water's already muddied. You've already gone to 1, 2, 3, or 4 gurus, or you went and listened to somebody like David Lester Straight, and you filed all that sovereign citizen paperwork and got lit up as a sovereign citizen right off the bat. And then you had no win at all ever. And now they were actually persecuting you because you did all that bullshit. So you have to be preemptive. We'll get into all that, but I want to let you know that, we're working on these things, and we're trying to streamline everything where you guys will know what to do right off the bat and go beat these people in their own game with their own toys, with their own rules. And that's what James has done. He'll tell you when probably a decade ago, you were walking in court, ruined the day. Yeah, absolutely.
20 at this point. I was 19 when I won my first one. And it was, I started getting into this when I was 9. And then, but I did my first case for me at 19. And, prosecutor was like, well done, Mr. Lovett. I can't beat that. And we were talking in the hallway. I didn't know he was the one I had to go up against. I didn't know 85% of what I know now. And, but we talked as, gentlemen and everything, and we battled back and forth for about 5 minutes. And then I got him on some key points, and he was like, yeah, I can't beat that. He was like, well done. So he recommended to the judge to drop the case. Judge was like, are you a lawyer? Are you studying or practicing law? Or, are you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, I just don't like to lose, and started studying this stuff and found some key points. Some people would say loopholes or whatever else. I don't like to call them that, because these are your rights and freedoms, and rights and freedoms aren't loopholes. These are subservient. There's a whole world of your freedom out there. You're pulled into this little pocket universe And yeah, you might you want to call it a loophole, I guess, because it's your way out back into freedom. So to me, it's a freedom path, not a loophole. And when you understand that they're just basically the government and everything's like a bubble, and then they gave permission to the states to operate within their own bubble, and then each state connected their bubble and called it the public, but it's really just a PMA, it's a private members association, where they're doing their own business, like playing like LARPing Monopoly, live action role play. We're all really in Monopoly. It's real world. And this is real money and all this other stuff. And then when you realize that, you're like, wait a minute. Then we, the people operating from a private capacity, are their bosses when we take off or understand the employee number and name that they've essentially gave us. That's all it is. It's if I'm in your jurisdiction, I'm using your things, then I am that person. Absolutely. And if I choose not to or not to play, and here's one of the biggest things, guys, is understanding that it's all essentially contract law. Okay? Contract law on the water. So if they don't have a contract, you don't already have a contract, they can do very little to you unless you've done something criminal. Because those are just rules and regulations for members of theirs inside of their commercial paper fictional world, which they LARP, live action role play. You're a member in a big play that they take very seriously. And when you're in their world, you should respect the honorary judge as such, Your Honor, because he is that key person in the play. So give the baby their bottle. Once you express to him who you really are, he knows immediately that you are the superior in that scenario. But you still show him your respect. But to answer or to comment off what you were saying before, yeah, surprisingly, I've had a number of police officers come to me, and I didn't know until a while back that my next door neighbor actually just retired as one. So he's always getting a trip because he loves my car. And he's like, so what's up with those plates? And I'm like, I explained, like, oh, okay. He's like, that's cool. All right. So, and I had one guy who was like following my channel, still is, he knows who he is. I won't say his name for obvious reasons. And he was like, hey, I just want to let you know, next week I signed the papers to become a police officer. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, hell, we need some people on the inside. Let me know what you find out, sir. So, and I said, but be cool. I said, keep your head down. He's like, okay, yeah. But what always happens? Everybody wants to kick over the beehive. Everybody wants to, Wolf, I just got to see. So what did he do? He signed all of his documents, UCC 1-308, all rights reserved. And he we were chatting and he tells me this. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry you didn't get your job, man. He's like, no. He's like, they hired me. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. He's like, but all the bigwigs came out of the back. Are you one of them? Sorry. What are you trying to do here? So he said, they basically just made me re-sign everything. He's like, they brought me on, I was like, okay. I was like, from there on out, it's like, when you're there, when you're doing your work, you are a U.S. citizen. And you deal with that. I was like, but if you see somebody out there in the world to prevent you from getting sued and losing your house and whatever else, you now know constitutional law. Let the people go if they're not doing any endangering of the public and not doing anything criminal. I was like, they have that right. I don't want to see you get sued. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I know. He's like, I've been watching you for a long time. I was like, I know what it is. I said, okay. So, but he still got the job. So we'll see what information may or may not come my way. Because they have what's known as the blue line of secrecy. Shh. Yeah. So, but yeah, so it's just amazing because I had another guy who's a police officer want to ask me questions about taxes and how we deal with that. So we have a little private program running right now that seems to be working across the board. It should. All the logistics are there. So they've been not paying taxes legally, which the IRS refers to as tax avoidance, okay, per the IRC, the Internal Revenue Code book. If you don't want to pay taxes because taxes are optional and you know what to do, that's tax avoidance. And they're going to try to call you taxpayers. So first of all, I'm practicing tax avoidance. Okay. And here's why. All right. And don't forget, a U.S., I already made the video, a U.S. national is regarded as a non-resident alien for tax purposes. But I'm in one of the seminars we're going to do, I'm going to go in and give you guys some more juicy tidbits on what we found as far as paying taxes and how to deal with, all that other stuff. We talked a little bit about discharge, blah, blah, blah. But that'll be a good one. So other than that, real quick, I seen somebody, what did they say in the comment here section? Sorry, I'm trying to pay somewhat attention, guys. One guy said, I got my passport book, which shows 4 stars under the UV. Well done. But my card only shows 3. Okay, so understand that now that the secret is out of the bag, all right, they have been grading harder, number 1. 2, they have done something different internally in which we do not know, where they have not been matching the book to the card. My theory is that the book, because it is international and the card is only national, that they're basically stating some kind of level of, I don't know how to phrase this, but you're remember under 22 CFR 51.2 and I think 51.3, you are regarded as a national when you do your passport and everything the proper way. So the stars, allegedly, educationally speaking, which is all the information that we're sharing here, okay, these are just stories and tales and our experiences, that you are looked at more so as obviously as a national or state citizen, but it has a air of, we'll just say, diplomaticness when you do these things this way. And they know what it is. Either there's the ones who know, and then there's the ones who are just told what to believe, which is why there's a lot of confusion. You would think they'd all be on the same page, but I'm not going to say they're hiding it, but let's just say that they would prefer the fewer to know about it, the better. What, you were going to say something, Floyd?
Oh, I was trying to answer Daisy K because she told me that they had funds invested with the Global Family Bank or Group to go to thefearlessfloydshow.com, my homepage. Go to the very bottom. You're going to see a cell phone number there. Call me at that number at 9:30 Central Standard Time tonight, and I'll tell you everything that you need to know regarding that and Audubon rights. If you need any information, I'll email it to you or get it to you however you need. So that's it. That's all I want to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, while we have the point, let them know what they can find on your website. I always throw people your way, so hopefully you've been getting people,
This is my journey. In 2002, I was sentenced to 60 years in prison. I did 14 years, 2 months, got out April 15th, 2016. I've been out for about 8 years. Started my channel. I was going to do it for entertainment purposes only because I meant work in the entertainment industry. Then I threw some private stuff on there that I was doing on the side, and it gained some traction. It got more views and subscribers than the entertainment stuff. So I just kept posting my experiences. So in this journey, I've been through everything, all the processes. I stopped doing processes 2 years ago. Just sat back. It's like, there's got to be an easy way to do this. This is all too complicated, too much, and nothing's really, it's a hit and miss. And believe me, I filed thousands of different processes, literally. If you want to know about me, go watch my show. I'm 100% transparent. Everything I do is, I swear to tell truth, whole truth, nothing but truth, so help me God. I do everything under oath because I operate in the divine. The divine supplies me with tenfold every day. I get return for everything that I do for people out of my own grace, my own good heart. So you can go look up my record. It's public. $10,000 challenge. Anybody can prove I was guilty of the felony that I went to prison for. $10,000 cash bond. Go watch my videos. It's in there. So anyway, in this journey, and then through the creation of my YouTube channel in March of 2021, something kept urging me in 2020. You need to go do a YouTube channel. You need to go do a YouTube channel. I was like, I don't even know how to do all that. So one day I was at a pawn shop, bought a microphone, came, plugged it in, did a test video. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty easy. And boom, it evolved from there. So in the journey, sharing my own experiences, doing my own processes, meeting everybody like James, Eon, Pastor, Smoking Baby, Derek Gonzalez, you name it, I know them. They're probably on my phone. Um, it's been quite the journey. It's been very interesting. A lot of setbacks, a lot of heartbreaks, a lot of very, very sad, horrible stories that I've had to hear just being in my position. But the evolution of my channel is to search for the truth, whatever that looks like. I don't care what it takes. If, I got to go buy a bag of Oreos and a gallon of milk and consume that to get to the promised land, guess what I'm doing? I'm heading straight to Walmart and getting the Oreos and milk. So that's all I'm searching for, and it doesn't matter what it is. So when I find these gurus like David Lester Straight, Bonnie Straight, Anna Von Reitz, Christopher Hauser, Patrick Marino, and I can go on and on and on, that are just totally ripping people off 100%, whether or not they come out and, they're not asking for money, but behind the scenes, there's always a caveat. There's always a catch, wink, wink, nod, nod, quid pro quo. So I expose people who are scammers. People send me documents that they want to vet whether or not they are counterfeit or fraudulent or have been altered in any matter, because I consider myself an expert in forgery and counterfeiting, as well as forensic sciences, due to my legal background. I had to educate myself. So as I search for this truth, I used to vet these processes. Now, out of all of these gurus out there who are still peddling their wares, still on social media, still doing their, classes they're charging you an arm and a leg for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, okay, and they're still doing it, there's a problem. They're not there. And this includes Rourke, okay, who puts on these seminars 4 times a year in Katy, Texas, all of them. If they were there, you wouldn't hear from them anymore. Because James will tell you, if he had a black card or a white card where he never had to pay a dime and it was always taken care of and he could go do whatever he want when he'd want to do it, you wouldn't see him anymore. I know he would want to help you, but the last thing he wants to do is spend his time, the rest of his life, helping other people out. He can go help out a greater amount of people with that wealth of knowledge and not have to do one-on-one tutorials. So please be aware, these people out here are still pitching their bullshit, okay, and their processes. One of them is Piper, okay. I was going to do a big thing for Piper. James was in on that. We all threw in like $199, $179 to go take her class. And the very, night before class, somebody hit me up. One of her former clients is like, oh, no, you're messing with the wrong person. I'm like, whoa, okay, I don't have time to investigate this. And I've got like 20, 30 people who are already paid, ready to go, waiting for me to send them the link. Okay, so I know 2 girls who were in that. One of them was like 2-3 months away from getting her golden ticket. Guess what? She's totally out of the scene now. Okay, the one that was close to getting her ticket. The other one, I talked to her last week. If you go watch my show, she was the first guest on my high noon show. Adore her. And guess what? She's like, I wished I'd never learned any of this. That's what she told me. And these people are heartbroken, they're shattered, they're disillusioned, and they just have nowhere else to turn because they've been down all these fake ass scammer gurus who are pitching them, a bunch of bullshit. So please be careful who you follow, who you listen to, and what you do and how you react. And God bless you. Please do your own research. I tell everybody that. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to James. Go figure it out yourself. This journey is not a cookie cutter journey where you're going to take the same path Jesse Henley upstairs is taking, because that guy, okay, out of everybody I know in this whole thing, he's the one who's closest to punching the golden ticket in their sandbox using their toys. Okay. He's had a meeting with the judge. He's had a meeting with, he actually went and had a meeting with the county clerk in Waller County, Texas, made her as a fiduciary. And she was like, what? So I'd love to get him on here and tell you guys all about his little adventure. But your adventure is going to be different from mine. It's going to be different from James's. Nobody's going to have the same, we did this, because you've done stuff that we don't know about. You've probably forgotten about. I know I have. I know James has. And this is a problem we have with some of the stuff that we do. We just threw the whole big old pan of spaghetti up on the wall, and that one strand stuck. And, well, which one was it? Because we don't know, because all spaghetti looked the same. So be careful what you do. Don't go out there and just throw paper at them like and expect everything to work and not knowing what's going to be effective. So please be very careful with this. And this is what my show's all about, is try to save you 3 things, okay? Time, money, and energy, because you can't get those back once you expend them. And if I can save one person a day, I will be rewarded tenfold. That's all I'm trying to do, folks. So with that, I'll close out this little segment because y'all mentioned Bonds for the Win. This is Ann LaFleur's book. If y'all don't know who Ann LaFleur is, she was the other half of Bonds for the Win. The other half was Michelle Clan. So Ann wrote this fabulous book that has 7 different trusts in it. You can find it on my website. This is the 3rd edition. It's already wrapped, ready to go, ready to send to you. Got a whole bunch of them out here ready to go. If you send me an email or you purchase, and you send me an email and you said, I heard about it over here on James's show, let me know so I can break off James his share like he deserves for having me on the show, be able to promote my products, promote me, and promote my services. And with that, I'll digress. You have the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So just so people understand, and I've seen some people comment, that normally I don't make mention of any specific people. Floyd does. Okay. So don't take this as, these are my words. It's Floyd. Some people that he talked about, I do feel a certain way, I will say, from clients who've told me about their experiences. But me personally, I've never had any direct experience with any of them other than like Anavon writes. And though I looked at her information, I quickly realized that this wasn't the best path, we'll say, for me. But one thing I will say for all of them is that there's more than one way to get where you're going. But the one thing with that, I will say, is that having gone through and listened to a lot of these people and their experiences, and individual results may vary. Some of them are going to have good bits of good information, but maybe not all of it's good. Some of them are going to be straight up just, not, you shouldn't really listen to. But at the end of the day, whether you get your information from me, Floyd, or anybody out there, double check, vet your information, vet the work. Don't just do anybody's processes, especially when it comes to money. Because if the government, the courts, or anybody are going to bank you, it's going to be you doing these processes where you're trying to get all this money and all this crazy jazz that you're trying to do. Remember, at the end of the day, you guys already have your nationality as a national, and being a state citizen, you have that. It's really about knowing who you are, being able to stand on it, and then creating the private entities like either a trust or a this or a that to operate privately. All right. So we're not putting anybody down. Floyd has had these experiences with these people, and he has heard from other people, and he's vocal about it, whereas I'm not. But I'd like to bring on people who are going to have different opinions on what's going on there, so that you guys, like anything else, you guys can be aware that maybe I should just be easy with some things. So, but if you're going to support him, her, whoever, that person, do whatever you want to do. You guys are all grown. But there are some things that I will say that I do know about a lot of them that I don't put on here, and that I will never go tit for tat because I don't have the time for that, and I don't really care. You guys are all grown. I've been out there, and I'm not going to mention who or what process I've done where I've been ripped off learning this over the years from certain people. And some people like, maybe you should. But me, I want to focus in on the work. Let's get you guys what you need. And what I will say is this: if somebody's charging you a lot of money for this, that, or the other, be wary, because all the information, and I've told you guys, even the stuff that you guys buy from me, is available out there for free. All of it is. We're just bringing it together and having a place for you to find it. And if they're reputable and good, usually they're going to stand on their product and they don't have to charge a lot for their services. Now, for your time, yeah, I can see charging a little bit, for your time. But if someone's like, oh, to talk to me, it's, $500 an hour or $1,000 an hour or half, come on now. Find it somewhere else. Even if you don't find it on my channel, search Floyd. If you don't find it on Floyd, search somebody else's. All keeping it real. All right. So let's see what else we got in here. Somebody had some questions. Somebody said a link to your website. Well, mine is down below, and Floyd's is thefearlessfloydshow.com. All right. I see somebody said they were shocked about Hauser. Once again, that particular segment is Floyd talking about his experience. He's actually talked to the man. They've, communicated that Floyd has pulled the guy's research. He's not hard to look up. Matter of fact, if you contact him, and I have heard him mention my name out there. So like I said, this is not a riff on him. Me and him directly, there's nothing there. But you can look him up and he's going to tell you his version of the events that he's partook in and all of those things. So do your own research, about whoever it's like this. If the results are there and you do them, doesn't really matter who you get it from. What I care about mostly is don't pay some of these people tons and tons and tons and tons of money thinking that you need it to be free. You already are free once you know who and what you are. And then from there, you move privately, create a private trust or a 508c1a, a faith-based organization or unincorporated association, whatever it is. You don't want to pay taxes. Okay. Cat's out of the bag, W.A.D.W.O.L.F or whatever else you're going to use. So you guys are all grown. And so we're having just a adult discussion. There's people out there who don't like me. I've been contacted by people who don't like Floyd, so everybody's going to have their perspective on, the various different things, but it's just like he said, be careful in doing the processes, because it's one thing to tell somebody that you are a national and you're operating in the private, but then all of a sudden, like certain processes, okay, I mean, certain people out there know, and I'll tell you this, I've had a number of some of the people, I've had a number of some of the people he's talking about, their clients come to me to help them get out of where they were locked up at for certain things. I've had one or two of the people he mentioned, one of them signed up to do a consultation with me, and I won't put his name out there, to get out of what trouble he's in, if you guys really want to know that part of the truth. But I keep all of that private. I've had other people get their vehicles locked up doing right to travel, but yet they teach it, and then come to me and say, "Hey, Wolf, how did you do this?" And whatever else. So my thing is, I'm not going to necessarily put it out there. Floyd, on the other hand, is a truth seeker. So he's going to go wherever truth is. And to go back to when me and Floyd first met, he checked me out. All right. I had to go through that rigmarole, that process. All right. And I did the same thing for him. That's why I don't mind having this man on the channels, because he's all about the truth. Whereas I'm like, okay, I see it over there and I'm good. We'll leave that over there. And I keep going. Floyd's like, nope, we're opening all the shades. We're letting in all the light. This is what it is. So, blah, blah, blah. But we're not going to harp on all of that all night. We've got other questions and things that we want to get to. And we're going to go from there. Floyd, did you want to jump in real quick and say something?
I just want to say I have playlists for the majority of the people I've already mentioned. So if you go to my YouTube channel, go to my playlists, you're going to see probably close to a dozen videos that I did on Chris Hauser. And just to let you guys know, okay, Chris Hauser's original YouTube started in October 17th. And then his Telegram started, I believe, in November. I went back and read every post in his Telegram, okay, from January to all the way back to the first posting, which thousands, tens of thousands of posts. And what I was looking for is somebody who had a success doing his 1099A process. Never found it. It's never happened. Period. End of story. You're more than welcome to do your own research. As you said, don't listen to me. Go watch the playlist, listen to the videos, listen to Chris's own words, and then read the record. Take it for what you want. So I've been right 100% of the time in most of my predictions. I still have a few that I thought Michelle Obama would be the VP pick for Kamala. I think Kamala will probably be the 47th president, that Joe Biden will either get ousted on the 25th Amendment or he will resign. Those are predictions. But when it comes to scammers, I don't say anything about anybody unless I have 100% facts from their own records or their own mouth to prove what the hell I say. I'm not going on under oath, make these allegations on YouTube and open myself up to litigation without having facts. Everybody that I present and talk about, they're more than welcome to come on my show and debate me about anything. In fact, I just called out Jasmine Crockett, who replaced Sheila Jackson Lee as the world's dumbest politician, because she doesn't even know her own ancestral history or herstory about the slave trade. So I'll digress right there. Go do your own homework. Don't listen to me. Thank you.
All right. So this is just a heads up piece for those people. Like it, love it, or leave it. If you guys want to hit up Floyd, he's open. He literally gave you his email. You guys can talk to him, debate some things, be on his show. He's had some of these other people be on the show. Some of them have, basically not gotten around to getting on his show. But it's just, this is somebody that does, he goes wherever he needs to go, flashes the light on anybody. So you guys don't all have to necessarily love what he's saying or whatever else. He has his personal experiences. And like I said, I'm definitely somebody that shouldn't be controversial. I don't call out anybody's names. I don't do any of that stuff. And there's people literally out there with YouTube channels, I won't mention their names either, but who are against me, including, these municipalities. And I literally, other than my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, shouldn't be almost any dudes out there who really don't like me. You know what I mean? So they're trying to clap at me and I don't clap at them. It is what it is. But hey, finest thing walking. What's going on, brother? I sent you a link to be on the show tonight. So either check your phone or your email, because I haven't seen you in a hot minute, brother. Because I know you be spitting some controversial stuff too. I have to watch you and Floyd when I bring you guys on the show, because the YouTube meter be going over towards the red. So, but yeah, hit me up, brother, if you want to be on. Actually, here, let me make sure my cell phone's on. I'll turn my cell phone on if you need a link. You got the number. Who was that? I didn't see it.
Finest thing walking, man. It's been what? Probably almost 2 years.
That's what I'm talking about. You just jumped in. He caught the live. I was like, hit me up. I'm turning my phone on right now if he needs another link. Let's see. T says, I've already learned that about you. You're legit. Keep doing your thing. Yeah, appreciate you. Like I said, I'm not always going to have things on here that everyone's going to like, love, or even learn from. But it's about exposing you guys to keeping your minds open. Even for me, people are like, oh, well, you've got a DUI. Actually, I've got 2. Okay, that's how I got on this path. All right. That's how I got on this. How do you think I learned about right to travel? I was like, either I'm leaving the country or I got to find a way to be able to use my vehicle. I'm a grown man. All right. So I paid for the first one, and the second one I won. People were like, oh, you didn't even win your own thing. Really? You must not be looking up the right person in the right state, because, yeah. And you want to know how the universe works? If you really want me to put some more of my business out there, all right, baby mama tried to put me on child support twice, and I won both times. And what's funny about that is because the brothers were hitting me up, Wolf, Wolf, man, you should talk about child support. How do we get out? I was like, I don't have that problem, so it's not something I'm looking at. 3 months later, what is this? Oh, hell no. So guess who hit the books? All right. And I had one friend who's like, you're not going to beat it. Yeah. I just Well, if you need some here's the thing. If you made your child privately, your business should be privately. And understand that child support is not a government agency. They are backed and supported by them. All right. So they're not the boogeyman that you cannot, if depending on your scenario, beat. Okay. And I'm not saying contact me for that, because that's not my specialty or anything like that. It's not what I'm saying. All right. Just saying that if you happen to go to my website and you see some files that might, be something that you can use, and you, educationally speaking, as an entertainment purposes that all this is, may utilize them of your own free will and accord. That's all I'm saying. So let's see what else we got here. Let me check, see if this thing hit me though, real quick, because it would be cool if he jumped on.
He's going to. He's looking for the link now.
Okay. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, I'm at the end of the chat watching it as it comes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm slow.
Yeah. Here's a question from Noel. He's asked it multiple times. How do you get info for court hearing if you've been trespassed from courthouse and lawyers won't get what you need? I don't. What do you mean trespassed from the courthouse? You mean, are you like banned from the courthouse?
I've had a lady be in that scenario too. She was banned, which she didn't do anything criminal, so she shouldn't have been. But did you want to answer that to the best of your ability while I try to get this link over to?
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't really understand the context of what trespass from the courthouse mean, and lawyers won't get what you need. Lawyers, this is lawyers, okay? They operate under the bar rules and procedures. They don't care about what the law says, because the bar gives them a license to print money, obviously, okay? Because they're going to take your money and they're going to follow the bar template, whatever the proceeding is, whether it's family, probate, civil, criminal, commercial, bankruptcy, whatever. There's a template that they follow, just like I'll use criminal because it's so simple. Boom, you get charged, okay, with the complaint, then you get the indictment, then you go to court, and your attorney files a motion for discovery of evidence, and the prosecution will submit the evidence, and then, oh, hey, there's some inculpatory evidence within that body evidence, so now your attorney files motion for limine to suppress that, or a motion to suppress. So they're doing this paper dance back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they're just following the bar rules, bar templates, resetting you, just going through the machinations to get you through the process. You're asking them to do things that they're not wanting to do it. They're bucking against you, or they're just totally ignoring you. I mean, they're listening, but they're not doing what you're instructing them to do, which is against the bar rules. But then you got to take them to the bar on a complaint and then have that state bar hearing. I've been through a multitude of those. Very seldom does a prisoner ever win that particular bar complaint. So I don't quite understand that. Let me scroll down, see if you broke it down for me so I can address it. I'll tell you what's going on in the courts. Yes. Oh, you're banned from the courthouse. You need to get anybody can go down and get your court records. Anybody can go in and file all your records for you. You can also do it online, what they call now e-filing. Texas has various surrogates that provide an e-filing platform for you. I'm sure your state has them too. The majority of state courts and federal courts, they all just want digital filings. They don't want the paper anymore. So yeah, or you can do a power of attorney, but I would just have somebody go in your stead without a power of attorney. Just, somebody else go get whatever you need, or go file whatever you need for you. Try it that way. If you don't, then I would do a durable power of attorney, limited to whatever activities you want the attorney in fact to conduct for you. And yeah, the courthouse is a bank, corporation. Yeah, I've done videos on all that. If y'all want to go check that out for proof, for actual proof. All right, you back?
Yeah, I got it out to him. We'll see if he jumps in. I texted him and emailed it to him.
Good.
So did hopefully everybody's seen the video on what was, I think it's 8 Foreign Affairs Manual or 8 FAM 300 section, where they literally break it down that there is a difference between, whereas most countries nationality and citizenship are the same thing, but they say here nationality and citizenship are two separate things. And even in the terms like non-citizen, national, and U.S. or what is it? Non-citizen, U.S. national, and national of the United States are all they're separate things. So I've even found mistakes on Cornell law and on and dealing with the Department of State where they're basically mixing up the terms because there's, like I said, they have on there national. You have to go back and watch the video. Or else look up for yourself 8 FAM 300 and just read through where they talk about the differences between there. So they do acknowledge what we are, but the problem is that so many people on a daily basis operate as a U.S. citizen. Nobody's calling them out. Hey, I'm a national over here, you know, except for high profile people and they get certain things done. But in general, 99%. So they have what's known as implied license. And that's actually on one of my property signs out front. And like I said, I've had cops come over to my house about 4 months ago. Some things were going on across the street and cops came over because they seen I got cameras because, you know, it is how it is. And they were like, oh, is your house an embassy? I said, it's a micronation. They go, oh, okay. So you're a private citizen. And I said, yeah. They were like, do we have permission to enter? Because that's what my sign says. And they came in. But on my sign, it says implied license is revoked. What does that mean? That means that everybody who does not have a sign on your house or your property, in some states, I think it's the color purple or purple flag or whatever else, that it means that they can come on your property because implied license means there are so many people operating out there as U.S. citizens. It's more likely that you are a U.S. citizen than not. We're going to regard you as one. So if you're private, much like everybody has driven by a golf course, it has on there what? Private. It's most of the times it's either private membership or the grounds themselves are actually private, like I have here. You cannot just go on there. They lose their power on that property. But if you don't say anything, implied license it's in play. Mine says implied license is revoked. I don't have to deal with the public unless I choose to. And the cops are proof of it. That was the first time I ever had them walk in my house. Really didn't want them in my house. But, you know, like I said, I do cooperate with law enforcement where it's suitable for me and I choose to. I don't have to. All right. So that's the difference. They come up to most of you guys. I mean, hopefully you guys know that you know, you have rights at the end of the day, but they can't just force you to do things, but they're going dear thing. All right. Hit me when you come back. I'll plug you off for a moment. So, all right. So feel free to ask some more questions, guys. We'll get Floyd back when he's done doing his thing. Let's see here. What do we got? How important is it to basically to do a non-UCC financial? That's more of like you're doing a private one, but you're basically letting them know you're doing a private one. Like if you're going to do a private trust, but you want them to know about it, you can do the same thing. So how important is it? I mean, depending on what you're doing, it can be very important or very minimal. I mean, but it's like this. If I'm going to do one, I might as well just do it on the public side. That way it can be referred to anywhere in the world and everybody knows what it is. But it's kind of like insurance. The more layers, the more things you do to protect you, your assets, or your offspring, or your property, or whatever else, that's better. Okay. Richard says these clowns in the corner, all oath office takers, that they're oath USC 81481. They lose their nationality, become foreigners. Yeah. So when they're in office, they are regarded under the FARA Act as legally being foreign. So it's not that they are, as far as I know, and don't quote me, Richard, when they're in office, definitely, but I don't think that they're fully renouncing down to their nationality completely. I don't think that they're doing that, but I've never truly gone that far to look and see if they actually lose their nationality as well, because that usually they have to do that before a judge, swear out and pay $1,500 to $2,500. So, but if they do that, then that would explain a whole lot more, because then it means that they're really not one of us, not even a little bit. They're all the way out. And they're all supposed to have that FARA statement, even if they don't remember that. They're all supposed to have their oath of office. How people who have certificates of naturalization can be nationals. So, well, it's actually kind of in the word you just said. How people who have certificates of naturalization. Naturalization, my understanding from reading it is that they're being made natural. Okay, so they're getting a national standing right there and a U.S. status. It's all in one. They're giving you both, just like we are born as nationals, but by law under 8 U.S.C. 1101-22 A, you are getting A, I guess A and B or whatever, however you want to read it. You're getting both. You can use both. So when people come here, the government can't say you can't get both. They have to give you both. They're just not going to tell you that. You have to be smart enough to know about the private. And if not, well, then you must be incompetent. So we're going to treat you as such. All right. Hold on one second, guys. Finest thing is hit me up. It's like, what email did I use? Gmail. Okay. Oh, all my stuff here. Hold on. Get back over here. All right. So let's see what else do I got here. I need a sign. My printer still works. Where's my info? I would recommend getting a metal sign, and I would go to customsigns.com is where I got mine done. And I think on Black Site 32 on the free document page, I have a sample of my sign that you can take and modify and put it up. But if you do that, remember, some of the best things you can also do to help back that up, not only just having a sign, is to put your house in a trust and, update your property tax assessor with what's going on there. And if you do it right, you'll get your house off the property tax rolls. And all right. So let's see what else we got here. Once again, Super Cyan is going in on Floyd. Is Floyd a domestic terrorist? Technically, if Floyd is considered one, I would be as well. And by the agent who emailed me, did say that I was on that particular, or the list, which is the watch list. But when you do your passport, see, the watch list, educationally speaking, is multi-layered. It'll have actual threats, and it'll have VIP people and diplomats. All of them who are going to be watched are all on this whole same one list. All right. So, yeah, a number of us who do the passports and whatever else are definitely on that list. But is he? No, he's actually a truth teller. The thing is that these are his experiences and his research is what he was talking about. Like I said, I haven't had those with them, but I will say, before, looking at Floyd or me or anybody else a certain way, do your own research. The proof is in the pudding. If you research those people's names, you're going to see certain things, and you can pull their records and see. Worst thing you're going to see on mine is 2 OWIs, or I was going to say driving while black. But yeah, that's all you're going to find on mine. All right. So let's see here. How to properly monetize YouTube, what payments, methods, and declaration. How to privately? Well, you would have to get to a point where they let you have, and Floyd, I'll bring you back on in like 2 minutes. You have to get your base of people up. You would have to you have to get your subscriber base open, promote your subscriber base, make your videos all private so that only those people can see them, and then they can pay monthly. And then what you can do, like me, I get hit on every day. I can't say the names of who I'm getting offers by, but we'll just say they make a lot of computer equipment and cameras, and they're only one of them. And they'll offer to have place a video or place their video, 30 to 60-second ads usually in the beginning of your video roll. But you also have to have the numbers. If you don't have the numbers, they're not going to approach you. So my offers went down for a while after whoever started, posting the things underneath my videos, but now they're coming back up. So it is what it is, because at the end of the day, they're like, well, but he's got a lot of people, so he must be doing something right. And trust me, I would have gotten a knock on the door if I was doing something that they could go, oh, this is, against blah, blah, blah. But once again, this is all entertainment and education. So, all right, Floyd, you ready? Going to pull you back on. Let's see here. All right, there he is. And here. 1 second, good people. Trying to see if we can get finest thing on here for a minute or two. How do you handle the bar against the bar with a corrupt judge? Oh, he still must be busy. All right. Well, a corrupt judge, you're going to want to report to the Judiciary Review Board about what they're doing. Detail. Don't go after these people I'm not going to say who. Do not put fake liens against these people. Don't put any liens against them, number one. And I'm not going to say who, he knows what I'm talking about because he mentioned the name, was doing that. Okay, we'll leave that alone for now. We're done with that segment. Do not make up false information about those people. Okay, state facts, things you can prove. Okay, if you can get a recording, get a recording. If you can get the transcript. And then go after that to be able to prove it. Because if not, they're going to come after you and they're going to rain down on you like a Mississippi rainstorm. Okay, fines, fees, and time served, etc. Floyd, I think you're still muted on your side. So
I was mouthing fines, fees, and other penalties.
Yes.
That's the IRS terminology for it, for all of you who don't know.
Can a business owner have a 3-star status? Yeah. See, you're going to find that most people out of the gate are going to get a 3-star. Don't harp on the stars. We're no longer harping on that. It's getting the process done. But can you get a 3? Yeah, 3 just basically, educationally speaking, means that you're in the middle of the road. You're like what we like to call red zoned. They're like, we see some national stuff on there and we see some U.S. citizen stuff. See, they have to, by law, acknowledge those things. They have to acknowledge your U.S. citizen side and your national side. So depending on how you fill out the information, somebody who's going to look at your application is going to have to make a judgment on how many stars they're going to put on there. All right. So they've made it harder to get the 5-star because, unfortunately, as I bring you guys information, what is the wolf's favorite expression? I know I have lots. As we move, they move. So as I show you guys things for entertainment purposes only, they take the entertainment and go, oh, hell no, let's up this. Let's change this. And for those people who don't know that, look at some of my old videos and look back at Code 8 USC 110122B. Go to Cornell Law. Look at the passport application. They monitor this. I know that they do. I'm not going to mention who I know and things that I've heard, but yeah, it is what it is because some of them are learning too. But here's a positive thing. The government has been updating their applications with the terminology for nationals on there. They've been putting it on there that you can check off, I'm a national, because you have a right. So we're making positive change. So yeah, there's going to be some suckers out there who are going to talk this, talk that about me and the information and la, 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 la. Yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, we're promoting constitutional law. And I don't have to have somebody like me or this or that. It's the proof is in the pudding. If you read the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and Bill of Rights, you're going to have a solid foundation of what's going on. Matter of fact, a really good book I got recently. I'm not all the way through it yet, and I know most of the stuff I'm already reading, but it's this book here, Government by Consent by John DeRoche. All right, it's a lot of good information, a lot of starter stuff. Tells you where a lot of where things came from and where they are. As always, do your own research, but open your mind to these things and make your own. Hold on a second. Make your own determinations because you guys are all grown. And at the end of the day, whether it's me, Floyd, or whoever else you're listening to, and I'm about to bring on the finest thing walking. That's not me calling him fine. That's his name. He's a handsome young gentleman. All right. But do your own research because at the end of the day, if you're like sitting in front of a judge, I'm like, well, I listened to this guy or this is on YouTube. They're not going to care. They want to know how you know what you know and you putting it together. And you're going to have to stand on that. All right. So we're just trying to wake you up a little bit. Without further ado, we're going to bring on the finest thing walking, the brother who is like a brother to me also. And he's definitely somebody who's walked the walk, talked the talk. And he's like Floyd. He's a truth seeker. And he's going to give it to you hot. So just remember, gentlemen, for my channel, be easy. All right. But let's bring finest thing on here. What's going on, brother?
What up, what up, what up, what up? It's been a while, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good to see you, though, for sure, for sure.
What you been up to? Tell people who you are, what you're about, where they can find you, what you do, and what's good. Just hit it hard.
Y'all know my channel, Finest Thing Walking, same name. I kind of do same stuff you do. We rebel against these unlawful government demands and so on and so forth, and it takes people like us because if we don't do it, then who else gonna do it? It got to be some people putting boots to ground out here, you feel me? So that's basically what I'll be doing. And right now I got like 5, 6, I probably got like 7 federal lawsuits against municipalities right now, man. Cities, counties, all that. I got some stuff in the U.S. Court of Appeals right now. So right now we could be getting a ruling on state registered license plates real soon because basically I'm fighting that, and I used Reno versus Condon. It's a Supreme Court ruling from the year 2000 that says that anytime you register with the state DMV and you put plates on your car or you get a license, it says that that's interstate commerce. Real talk. And what's crazy is the Department of Justice and Congress is the one who first said it, right? And then like the state of North Carolina tried to sue the Department of Justice over it. Like, no, it's not interstate commerce. You can't regulate this and that. And the Supreme Court came out and said simply registering your vehicle with the DMV and driving and participating in a motor vehicle is interstate commerce. Literally.
Yes, sir.
So I'm using that against them right now. So we could get a ruling real soon from the U.S. Court of Appeals, I was arguing that license plate thing, the front license plate thing, because Illinois, you need front license plate. But there's a Supreme Court ruling in Montana versus Lashella, I think is what it's called, which says having your front plate and the windshield is good enough, something like that. Just a whole bunch of stuff I'm using to see what these federal courts are going to say because we need more case law because we know what it is, but the people don't know what it is. And if we get more case law to stand on, then we'll do a lot better in these courts. Even the average person that doesn't really know all this information like us, they'll still thrive a lot better in their local courts if they got some case law to fall back on, especially if it's from a federal court,
Facts. They don't like us sharing these rights and freedoms and liberties because then it's money out of their system. And people are going to jump ship. And then that means they're going to have to change their laws. They're going to have to sweeten up their whole, don't you want a driver's license? No, cool. I do right to travel because I know I have a constitutional right to do that. So that's the whole problem. So they try to make us look silly or stupid. Oh, that guy, this and that. Guys, I've had a number of federal agencies contact me. Okay. People who work for those places. I've had police officers. I've put these people to task in court. We've won countless court scenarios, court cases with contract law. We've used that too. But with these court cases that the federal court and Supreme Court have already ruled on, if you don't read them, then you're just living in their maritime world, being a good U.S. citizen. You're doing all the things that they want you to do as a private member of the public and in their group. And they just want you to stay there. Why would they ever not? If you, I hate to say it like this, but if you're a hoe and they're pimping you, why would they ever want to teach you to be free? Exactly. And get yourself an OF site or something like that? Why would they want to do that? No, they want to keep all that in-house. The only people who were really ever supposed to have licenses for a majority of things out there, and if you read the Internal Revenue Code and some of the executive orders, who are paying taxes are the people who are public officials.
Yep. If you're on the road for commercial purposes, that's what you need a license for. If I'm not being paid for being on this road, I don't need no type of licensure or registration to be on this road.
Correct. But see, it sounds like voodoo and BS and whatever else to us, because think about it. A lot of people who are against this, where did you learn half the stuff? You didn't actually learn it. You kind of heard it, learned from people who were public officials. And then they groomed you into feeling some type of way when they themselves don't know. See, people like me, Finest Thing Walk-In, Floyd, we study things on the legal level. Like when all these people don't know what's going on, they go, well, I'm not really sure the legality of that. Send that down to the legal department. That's the equivalent of what we learn, and we have learned, and we're still learning. And that's why we beat these people religiously, because it's learning that you guys hear the word drive, you think, well, that's just me getting in my car and going to work and stuff. No, drive means in their world, with their dictionary, which is different than ours, commerce, commercial, licensed, for profit. So if you're not making money on the way to your job, that is pleasure. Yeah. That is private. You don't need a license. Now they'll say, but you need a license to drive. You're absolutely right. Because the term drive is commercial. So you do need a license to drive, but you don't need a license to operate your vehicle privately to do right to travel or to travel. Look at the back of your passport card. It says for air, land, and sea travel. It says around on the back of the passport card, land, air, and sea travel. Well, what are you doing on the land with your passport card? Do you need is that for your horse or something? No, it's for walking. You need a passport.
I broke that down for the court too, because I've been putting in all the Black's Law Dictionary definitions and the Bouvier's Law definitions. And I'm like, when these terms originated, these terms were commercial terms. They meant commerce. And what happened was the masses started using these terms interchangeably with non-commercial terms. And that's the issue that's going on right now. But like me and you just said, we beat these people religiously. Like, I'm undefeated in the court system against these people. They still ain't got one conviction on me. So a lot of people can say I'm crazy or this and that, but my record shows the truth. I'm undefeated, period.
Crazy like a fox, So like one of my students out there, he focuses on litigation. That's all he does, right? And I'm on Facebook under a private name, so I can just move in and out, because I'm going out now, man, in my regular day, and people are recognizing me every week. So I've been wearing hats and shit and trying to be, had this brother look like mugging me from across the bar, and he was like,
"That's the B.A.D.W.O.L.F."
No, not at first. He's just mugging me, right? And then so he's like, "Hey, let me holler at you for a minute, dog." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to knock this." I was like, "What's up, dog?" And he was like, "You the B.A.D.W.O.L.F?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh man, you my guy, dog. He's like, "Man, you got me out of so much trouble with this and that." And I was like, "Okay, you know what I mean?" So, but long story short, you guys have to learn this, and most of you guys are, but they're putting on a play, and they don't want to break the play, and they play this real life. like I said earlier, LARP, live action role play. To them, it's a real thing, and it is a real thing to them. But when you understand that there is superior law that is real law, not a corporate thing going on, okay, then you understand that what they're doing is legal, not lawful. Lawful means the real, actual law.
Yeah.
The Constitution. Legal means inside of a corporation. I even told that when I was arrested way back, and I had the commanding officer come down, and I was like, you know what you're doing here is legal, but I operate lawfully. I was like, you do know the difference. I was like, you understand? And I said it just like that. Do you understand? I use their words, meaning, do you understand my authority? Do you stand underneath me in what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said, yes, I do. I said, okay, I'm operating from the private. Run my passport, which he did, and I was released 15 minutes later. And all the cops were like, hey, man, we don't know what's going on. We just do whatever we're told. And I was like, that's the problem. You don't know what's going on, and you're setting yourself up for lawsuits.
Yeah.
You know? So the fact of the matter is that we're learning these things on the legal level, which means what does this actually and intrinsically mean when viewed by the law? I read a court case a couple months ago why this guy lost his case. I think it was in the federal court. I don't remember which one. But because he was trying to articulate that the all capitalized name is not him. He was like, this isn't me. This isn't me. Now, where he lost was he didn't have this specific information that I've already done a video on, but real quick, he didn't identify that name is a legal person. Okay. First of all, he didn't say it was a legal person. That's where he made one of his mistakes. Number two, he said, well, it's spelled differently. No, it's spelled the same, but the topography of what it looks like, the all capitalization on the state level, not the federal level. The government doesn't use capitis diminutio maximum, okay? Meaning these capitalized letters mean something different. The government doesn't look at it that way. Only the states. The states are operating under the UCC, which puts them in the commercial code. You can look up in this book, commercial code, and the definition section, UCC 1-201, conspicuous format. Under conspicuous format, it says any lettering outside of natural, which is lowercase, is then commercial. And the states operate with commercial. They're doing business. The government under GPO Styles manual says in their books, they're operating under the Constitution. They're not subject to the UCC. They recognize it, they'll honor it, but they're under the Constitution where the states are operating their little membership under the UCC.
Right.
If it's super small writing, which is non-natural, it's modified. That's commercial. Capitalized, that's commercial. So that's why I tell you guys, we read these books emphatically to learn these things, and that's why the guy lost. So if I were to argue this case and bring it back before them, I would win, hands down. Because everything in that UCC book, it says the Uniform Commercial Code. Google search, do the states operate under the UCC? It says yes. That means everything they're doing is commercial based on conspicuous format.
They say your voice chopping up, B.A.D.W.O.L.F.
Always when I get to the good stuff.
Yeah, it was echo and stuff.
All right, here, let me.
You know, they had to throw you off real quick.
Oh, wait, excuse me. Everything that was said was educational information only. Do your own research.
Allegedly.
Yeah. All information, all accounts here are alleged. All right, and entertainment purposes. Now, I bet my voice is better now, right? Because you know,
they hear you now.
All right, so do not do these things at home, kids. All right, let's see here. What else we got going on? B.A.D.W.O.L.F, your health insurance, how besides through job, private health insurance? You can get your own insurance. You don't. You can go to the Obamacare, or you can get your own. It doesn't even have to be from here. You can get stuff all over the world. You can do business all over the whole planet. They're all doing commerce.
Hey, we got the right to contract. They can't tell us we don't.
Right. We have the right to contract privately, publicly, and unlimited. So you can do whatever you want to do, as long as you know what to do.
Hey, right. You hear me? How you feel about the election and all that stuff? I know everybody was losing their mind and stuff.
Well, and I'll put it out there. I already told people that Trump was going to be in there. I don't personally care. And let me say this let me say it the James way. I know who if I still had the ability to vote, all right, because I rescinded and revocated all that, I know who I would prefer to go in there. But for me, ultimately, James is still going to do James. People in there are still going to screw over us. I've seen people, unalive themselves. I've been looking at that in the news over him being in there now or her not getting in, all that stuff. To me, sorry for those people who've done those things or hurt themselves. Do not do any of that stuff, please, people, because it is a show. But I will say this. I've heard from multiple people across the United States in the back sector, which means just the private people who have higher access than me, that he was going to be in there twice. I thought they meant back to back, but it was him, Space, and the other ones. And I didn't know some of the information that I was being told. I look back now and I see exactly what they meant by what they gave to me. And that's also why, like I said earlier at the beginning, like these people, there's a good cabal out there and there's a bad cabal. All right.
That deep state that we was talking about years ago, and we look so crazy, but now the Trump and all them themselves saying, "Oh, we finna get rid of the deep state," and we sounded so crazy years ago.
Let me say this. People cannot believe me. That's fine, but I don't have any reason to lie. If you ask me the truth about something, I will give it to you if I know it, period. I don't care. And I've been asked a lot of personal or crazy things. I don't need to lie. Lying just basically means that you're afraid of what you've done or who you're talking to. And that ain't the case for me. But I will say this. I don't mention his name, but a guy that was a consult of me proved to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that he knows Trump personally. And when we did the consult, this was in the last year, I think it was, Trump was in there the first time. And I lie to you not, hand to God. He said, "Wolf, Trump doesn't know what you're talking about." And I said, "Probably not, because he's raised in those corporate circles. He's good at what he does." So he said, "I'm going to speak to Trump about your channel." And I said, "Okay, sure, do whatever you got to do, right?" Well, 9 months later, we're just going to say, the man, okay, started saying words that you guys know that I use a lot. And he started talking a little bit differently. And I was like, I wonder, because that would make sense why my channel is watched a whole lot more than usual.
Oh, yeah, you blowing up.
So all I'm going to say is it would be interesting if that's how the universe worked and we had some part, all of you guys watching too, helping to promote me, that this became that. Because really, grassroots, guys, is all of us working together. And here's the one thing that why I like Floyd and Finest Thing and A6 and another whole set of other people is because we can disagree on a code or a procedure or whatever else, but we will try to educate each other why we think this is the better way to go. Iron sharpens iron. And at the end of the day, if we disagree on something or someone, we're still cool. That's what it's like. That's what it really means to be a national. That's when you're putting this and people ahead of your own ego. And that's why I don't like certain people out there. But unlike Floyd, I just refuse to talk about those people. I'm not going to give them no heat. I'm not going to give them no airplay. I'm not going to give them no love on my channel. Because when they talk about me on their channel, those people then come over to my channel to see what I'm about.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that at first. And one person was like, "Hey, I know," I almost said his name, I'm not going to say it, "So-and-so, he don't like you, dog. And I'm in this Telegram group and woo, but I wanted to see what you were about." And I have to say, dog, like you have a better approach, man. You're not belligerent. You're not combating. You're not arguing. You're not yelling. You're not calling people out. You're just trying to get it out there. And I was like, yeah, that's how I move. But I can respect anybody, even if they don't like me, as long as they don't step up on me, they leave me and mine alone. And sure, they can talk about me, whatever. But they're doing the right thing and moving the information forward. That to me is the takeaway. But it's when they go out of their way, it's like, you know what? It is what it is. Because to me, just, especially like I said, I am very not confrontational or whatever else. It's do your thing, I'll do my thing, and we agree to disagree, and we keep going. That's what it is.
Man, straight like that, I almost had to whoop somebody last week because they was like, not this weekend that just passed, but the weekend before that. We chilling at somebody's crib and stuff, and he like, who would you rather have had, Kamala or Trump or whatever? I was like, I ain't gonna lie. Kamala's a liar. I know for a fact. Her grandpa Oscar Harris, that's a white dude. They're slave owners. Like, real talk, you feel me? But I can't rock with that, you feel me? So I was like, I'll pick Trump over her. And then he really got like emotional, was like trying to approach me, get in my face, I'm like, bro, I would knock you out. You really trying to get into it over politics, bro? It ain't never that serious. But it just showed me how serious people are taking this. And he was a black dude, of course. So he feel like, oh, because I'm black, I automatically got to go with the Democrats or go with Kamala or whatever. And I'm not no political dude. I don't care about either side, but I know which side was the lesser of two evils. Real talk. So, hey, anybody that's against the government, I'm with that. And Trump is obviously against the government. He said, for the first thing they finna do the first week in office is get rid of the FBI, get rid of the IRS. They finna do all type of shit. I'm with that, folks, because these are the same people that been in the government screwing us over for years. Bureaucrats, right? We need to get rid of them because how is it over 50,000 IRS employees, they owe back taxes that they still ain't paid, but y'all out here chasing everybody else? That's bullshit. I mean, bullcrap.
Yeah.
I said shit, not the other word, bullshit. But anyways, that's bullcrap. So we gotta clean up. We gotta clean up these people that's ruling over us. How they said he bringing the hammer down on us, but ain't nobody bringing the hammer down on us. I mean, on them. So anybody that want to bring the hammer down on the government, I'm all the way with that. And then we also got to remember, fam, we want a republic, not a democracy. We do not want a democracy. A democracy can't stand to a republic. A democracy can become evil because the majority can outweigh the minority. In a republic, the majority can never outweigh the minority because there's always a constitution or common law protecting you. With democracy, they can make whatever rules they want and it can get passed and this and that. Republic, the rules always stay the same. So we need to get back to a republic. We need to get back to what the United States of America was originally meant to be from its inception. Not what it became, but what it was originally meant to be when the Constitution was wrote, freedom. But people talking all this stuff, but these Democrats, they want to take away all the freedoms. Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand. And they don't regard the Constitution. And I see it clearly. And they're worried about everything else but the freedom of their own people. They're worried about the freedom of Ukraine. They're worried about Israel. They're worried about this and that, but they not worried about us here. And it's just so clear. Y'all bringing all these immigrants over here. And our people been over here struggling forever. I'm in Illinois, I'm by Chicago. Black people been struggling in Chicago for so long. There's been homeless people on the streets for so long. Then these people come over here, prisoners from a different country, and they getting treated good. I'm talking about they got $13,000 in link card. Like, they getting the best government welfare. I've never seen nobody get this kind of government welfare. Thousands of dollars to go spend for free. Like, it's crazy, And then for the first time ever, we seeing Chicago go red. Nobody would have ever thought Chicago or New York or Los Angeles would start going red. These places are going red now. So that shows you people was fed up with, we want our freedom back. They fed up. We don't want nobody ruling over us, telling us what we can and can't do. We tired of that. So, and I seen Trump is, if we want more freedom, Trump is the way to go. You see what he said? He said, when he get in, concealed carry in all states. If you got concealed carry in one state, you got concealed carry in all states. And that's how it was meant to be. When I fly to New York or I fly to Cali, I can't even take my gun. That's dumb. That don't make no sense. This is supposed to be the United States. We supposed to all be under the same constitution. So how come I can do something here and I can't do it there? That's dumb. What else he say? No more censorship on social media platforms. He said if anybody censor you, they got to show you the exact reason why and all type of that. And you get to sue them. If they censor you because of your freedom of speech, if they ban you because of your freedom of speech, you get to sue them. How can you hate on that? How can you hate on the man saying he want to bring the Bible back to school? He want to put the Bible back in the classroom. How can you hate on that? How can you hate on that? I don't understand. This sounds like America to me. That's what America sounds like. That freedom spirit again. You feel me? That strong spirit that believe in God's spirit, that type of stuff. And not all this crazy stuff where anything goes, worship the devil, let a man go in a woman's bathroom, all that crazy stuff. That's crazy to me, fam. Real talk. I don't understand. And this is a big issue for these people. Oh, he's not gonna let men go in the women's bathroom anymore. That's an issue for you. That people are sick. People are sick because before you know it, people gonna be talking about, hey, I'm ageism. That's ageism. You can't tell me how old I am. I feel like I'm an 8-year-old. You can't tell me that I'm a 40-year-old man. I feel like I'm a 13-year-old. So when you see me trying to get with these little 13-year-old little kids, there's nothing wrong with that because I identify as a 13-year-old. They're gonna be cool with that pretty soon if we keep letting this go on. You feel me? Like, that's
Well,
crazy.
and they've been trying to brainwash us and slowly get us into I won't say the P word, for the, little people. They've been slowly doing that in their S-tanic stuff all across the board. They've been edging just a little bit here and there. Let's just get them used to it. So remember, guys, most of these people, first of all, a lot of people don't even know how, and like I said, I can't vote, and in my day, I have voted both sides. Okay, I'm just going to throw that out there. But we also a lot of people don't know the true history of the Democratic Party, how it started, and all of the history of who then took it over and this, that, and the other. All right, so I'm going to say, do your own research. We're not political here. We're just throwing down some things that we want you guys to be aware of. So don't take this as we're turning this channel into this, that, or the other. Just things to get you guys to question. And here's my thing. Anybody who doesn't want you to question them or their word, there's a problem there. If they're like, hey, just take this, do this, put this on, inject it, whatever it is, and they don't want, well, why did you guys exempt yourself from that?
Right.
No. Don't have just do as I say, not as I do. Well, that's not America, not the America I know. As a young man who became a Boy Scout and an Eagle Scout, I know all these things inside and out. I've joined multiple parties. Like I said, I voted both ways, different times, different reasons, different people. I'm just saying that is not the America that we can't question anything. And remember, America is alive and well in each one of us. But if you're not privy to the information, if you're just like, I feel some kind of way about this without doing the research, how do you know what's actually behind that moniker or that totem or that symbol that you're saying, I believe in the red, I believe in the blue? You have to do your research. This whole like people talking fancy to you. Hell, everybody here, okay, has been talked out of something at some point in time. As a dude, I can say I've been talked out of money. Girls have been talked out of panties. I mean, you name it. Everybody here, I'm just keeping it real, right? So be careful when someone's telling you that sounds so good, so smooth, and they're trying to get something from you because the devil's in the detail. Anytime the devil's making a deal with you, he's going to offer you something free or sweet or to get into the van. Okay, and then you're going to end up at Diddy's house. All right. What I meant to say is that for everything that they give you, they're taking something more important from you.
Yeah.
Nothing is free except for what you fight for, and it ain't free because you have to use your energy and life force to fight for it. So ain't nothing free.
Not at all. They say give us your freedom. They be like, give us your freedom, and we'll give you this in exchange for your freedom.
Right. Now, let me show you guys something, okay? So give you a visual of what this looks like. Now, I know this is basically a U.S. national channel that we talk about nationalism and operating on the private side. We're operating in trust. But I'm expressing to everybody, okay? And this is how the Democrats, this is how these crazy, mentally ill, progressive, left-wing liberals hijacked mainstream media, hijacked the Democratic Party, and brainwashed the entire Democratic base into believing that DEI and all that is the way to go woke, and that's how everybody should be. They came this close to getting another 4 years, okay? That would have been 8 years, almost a decade of this crap, and it would definitely get twofold, if not 4 or 8-fold worse in the next 4 years.
I don't think we would have survived.
How did they do that? They went in and they got elected to these offices, and they worked their way up to when they got to the top. Some of them are these governors that are running sanctuary states, sanctuary cities, whatever. Okay. So they went through the political machinations. And I advise everybody, if you're still in the political realm, you still have the ability to vote and all that stuff, we have to focus on the 2026 because now we have to make it too big to fail. So we have to have a super majority. So when we go in, okay, because I told y'all at the very beginning of this video on my Zoom with Dr. Ed Group, who's already in the administration. He talks to some people that are departments, agencies, and bureaus in the federal government starting January 20th, 2025. So I have a lot of inside information that I can't tell at all, that I know that I'm privy to. So expect some things to happen that you're going to question. You're going to like, oh man, that was not a good pick. Okay. You're going to be surprised, shocked. So don't worry about that. We have to go in there in 2026 and overwhelm it. We have to get the rhinos out of there who are on the fence, or, you know, who'll go whatever way the wind blows or wherever way the cash flows. So focus on that. And that's one of my goals. Yeah. Govern by consent. Okay. That we have to go back in and take control. Imagine if all you nationals got together in your community and ran for office, and you got in there and you could change the charter of the municipality in your favor, where there was a right to travel.
Facts. That's facts.
That's
facts.
it. That's
why we got to put the right people in office, on me. And that's another thing that Trump and Elon and Vivek is trying to do, to make sure that everybody in the government is somebody that's elected, not somebody that can just get in there and get chosen by somebody and then stay in there indefinitely. You know, that's where we're getting all this bullcrap going on, because they're going to keep that power going. They're only going to put people on that's on the same program as them, you know. Yep. And we're over that. It's time for the people to elect whoever's in power, whoever's making any decision. They need to be elected. That's what a real official is. They're elected.
I've always said that, like, look, we have to pass to get a loan. Say even any one of us will go out and get $5,000 right now, or to start a business. They want to see all this information, tax returns. They want to see how long you've had. Did you go to school for this? Do you have a business plan? Where's your experience? Have you ever run a nightclub before? So, like, I'm just saying there should be term limits on Congress, number one. Two, anybody who's going to be in office should be able to be like, well, I went to school this long for a business, and here's my proof that I've helped the people with this knowledge, and I'm for the people. You know, what are your qualifications? Have you ever done something like this before? Like, instead of just like, well, I'll run. I'm in. Okay, now I'm in here. But if you have never built a business, I don't really want you running the country.
No, seriously. I said that. I'd rather have a businessman running the country than a politician.
I'm just saying, a businessman like me, I can't speak for anybody else, but I know Floyd has done that. I'm not sure if you have either, finest thing, but like, I lost my tail in doing business, and I got beat up. I learned a lot of stuff. I was rejected by 5, 6, 7 banks until I got so cold. They had no reason to deny me other than my color. Right. They were like, numbers look good. You've got the credit now. You've got this. You've got the assets. I said, okay, well, why are we not doing a loan? And they were like, well, we just don't feel like that a loan of this type is what we would like. Well, then why did you entertain me and ask me for the business plan and ask me for all this information? So right. I knew at that point that particular situation was just about color. But the whole thing is if I have to do all that, and you guys have to do all that to get a car, just to live, to get a bank account, whatever else, why are we not holding them accountable to, like, where is, sir, I'm going to need to see your last 10 years of what you've done. I'm going to need some references. Do you have anything in the public? What is your direction? Where do you see yourself in the country in the next 5 years and getting, you know what I mean? They do all this to us.
Right, exactly. All these interview questions and all this stuff. And then Kamala, she just freaked her way to the top.
Oh, you already know. I'm just saying, like, All right, put it this way. How about this? If y'all think at some point in time, I'm pretty sure my girl's listening and her skin is crawling right now as I say this. Y'all think the B.A.D.W.O.L.F should run for office? Put it in the chat. Let me know.
Like,
You think
like president? Like president or like
president or whatever else, whatever.
governor,
right?
mayor? What's up?
You know, all day, all day, all day,
So
son.
you'll
You
be the
already,
mayor of your city?
man, man, with it, whatever we got to do to get to the top. If that's what it takes.
That'd be crazy, bro. That'd be crazy. Hey,
I thought
but in
about
this new era, it's possible. Imagine if your channel blow up, bro. Like, cause it is. I mean, it's not about when. I mean, it's not about if. It's more about when. You know. So just imagine when your channel blow all the way up, and you got all these people watching. You probably could pull enough power and pull enough strings to get a mayor position in your city, bro, or a governor.
Mayor, yeah. There's enough people that I even know that would definitely be on board, you know, but at the same time, like, you know, you'd have to climb the ladder, you know, to get up there, to get the backing and all that other stuff. Cause, you know, I ain't rich like that. I ain't got that Fearless Floyd or Finest Thing money, you know, going on, you know. But yeah, I thought about it, you know, so who knows, you know, maybe I will, but more so my lady would like me to, other than doing this, to kind of start living more of a quiet life. She's like, you know, I don't want you all out there making enemies on that level and whatever. So I'm like,
hey, it'd be like that.
My thing is this, I just want to get this stuff out here before at one point in time when I decide to, you know, not gonna say fully retire, but just, you know, ease back on it and, you know, pop in, pop out, and start to have a higher quality of life versus this part, you know.
You can't. You already done got started, bro. You already got started. You ain't no stopping, bro. Look at your channel. The way it's growing, you literally can't stop. You in an awkward position right now. You have to keep going. You wasn't given a choice in this, brother.
I think the universe might be agreeing with you, but like I said, you know, I'm gonna try to ease back. But like I said, I'm gonna chill for a bit anyway to start learning and reading more books. You know, I mean, I want to learn more things, lots more things I want to get onto. So I'll say this: I'll probably not ever retire, but I will ease back because, you know, I gotta let other people grab the mic too and spit. You know. You know, I don't hog the mic. I share it, you know, so we can all flow. Everybody, if I eat, everybody.
The people gonna choose who they choose, and I think they choosing you. Like real talk. Somebody else can, you know, they can say the same things, but they can't deliver it like how you can. They ain't got that same energy you got. They ain't got that same swag you got.
That Finest Thing is a weird thing because I've had so many people be like, you should do public speaking. I mean, you know, like, and I've had people, you know, say the same words or whatever else, and people are like, yeah, I don't know, you know, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess it's
your charisma, bro. That's what it is.
The energy, because I'm just genuine, because it's like, this is how I feel. I'm passionate about this. I ain't trying to get over on nobody. I don't need all that stuff. Like, I literally just raised my prices a little bit because, you know, I had students out there like, oh, I get X amount of dollars. And I'm like, well, I could use the lights on, you know, keep the lights on, you know.
Hey, don't never feel sorry about what price you demand, because at the end of the day, man, you taking time out your day, you know. You giving up time in your life that you'll never get back to participate in this type of stuff. So it costs whatever you feel is worth whatever you feel it's worth.
Right. You know, but as somebody who had 16 cents in his bank account at one time, walking both ways in the snow, you know what I mean, to help pay for my son and whatever else, like, I just know what it's like to be, you know, not have no money. So I just try to be real because that's where I've come from. No money, you know, like, I'm okay now. This is the first time in my life at almost 50 where I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I don't have to exactly make sure that, you know, the light bill ain't going. You know, it's weird. Like, hey, just so that you know where I'm at. Like, I was like, I'm gonna use auto pay now for my electric bill. Let's do it.
Hey, you done moved up in the world. You hear me? Got the direct deposit on it now.
Right. No, hey, not all the bills, but, you know, I got a couple that, you know, I'm like, okay, all right. So, but the average person can relate to that because that's what it is. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, certain people saying certain things, it didn't go the way they wanted to, is because a lot of these people in politics, presidency, or whatever else can't relate to the average person. They don't know.
Facts.
So we the regular people see through, like, what was it when Hillary Clinton was going and she had, they told her, I don't know who their people are. Like they probably should have hired me to help all of them. I could have helped all of their campaigns, Trump, Kamala, Hillary, because when they had her out there with her, oh, keep this in your bag, and they give her that little hot sauce. Oh, I keep hot sauce in my purse. We know you don't put no hot sauce in your purse. You find ketchup hot. Stop that cap. Come on.
Nah, for real. And then talking about something, she put the collard greens in the tub. Like, who doing that, boy? Boy, your grandma would have smacked you up putting them in that dirty tub.
Ain't nobody. Even the hood, greasy people I know who make things happen. Don't put no collard greens, don't put no greens or nothing like that in the tub. That's just nasty.
She was trying too hard. And at the same time, she was insulting us. Like that's how we get down.
somebody must have told her some knowledge that they were like, oh, all the people of color are going to know she's on some BS somebody see, I've always said there are people out there in power that are on our side doing little things behind the scenes that only if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear will pick up on that. Nobody, matter of fact, right now in the chat, if somebody has ever washed their greens or whatever in the tub, put that in the comment. Yeah, I do that. I want because nobody. Oh, and quickly,
not even just greens, anything. Have you ever took any vegetables or fruits to the tub and washed it? Let us know.
Yeah, because I ain't coming by your house to eat for Thanksgiving or nothing at any time ever.
Definitely not. My channel is Finest Thing Walking, by the way. Somebody asked me what my channel is. It's Finest Thing Walking. Matter of fact, I'm gonna type it in the comments. It's my thing. It's my YouTube name.
Well, you've been MIA. Have you been making videos? Because I ain't seen nothing from you in a hot minute. I was worried about.
I just came back for like the first time in like a year and a half or something. A few days ago, I did a little live stream or whatever just to tell people I'm back. I'm finna get these upgraded cameras and stuff and, you know, get back to it. Because finally we get our freedom of speech back. So I'm ready for that.
And thank you to all the people out there who said B.A.D.W.O.L.F for governor, B.A.D.W.O.L.F for president, B.A.D.W.O.L.F for district attorney, B.A.D.W.O.L.F for councilman. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Maybe I will. You know what? I don't know if this is prophetic, but I had a dream where I was in some form of Congress or something, and I was keeping it G with like all of you guys, like, hey, all the people on the B.A.D.W.O.L.F channel got me here. Like I had a dream like that. So I don't know. You know, maybe that's just me shooting for higher things, but I don't even know
you
if
can make a big difference. Like even if you wasn't in no high position, but just any political position, because in this age of internet, like that will go viral. Like, oh, it's this politician, it's this governor, it's this mayor guy, and he doesn't even allow the cops in his city to pull people over for their plates and this and that. Like that'll go viral, and I feel like that could spread the message just like that. Like then they hear you talking, this governor talking about he's not even a United States citizen, this or that, a state citizen, American national. Like you could wake a lot of people up if you got a position of power, for real. You're gonna be very controversial. You might be looking over your shoulder all the time, peeping out the windows and stuff, but hey.
Have you seen my cameras? I already do that now.
Hey, somebody got to make the sacrifice.
Don't mean where I'm at now, and don't say where I'm at, because Lord knows that our city don't get wild too, bro. I have to watch all that too. You know, still yet to this day, still some things out there pending. We're just gonna say.
Nah, for sure. I know it get wild around there for sure. I already know,
bro. I won't even say all that on this side, but yeah. Had some people come up to the door a couple times, had to handle some business. We'll just say, you know, people feel
like that. Don't come to my door because you're probably not gonna leave up off my property. Like, don't play like that.
Mostly it was cool, but you know how people be funny sometimes. So, but yeah, I've had, but yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the questions. I think Floyd's on the phone still. Everybody's like, no, I wash my ass in there.
Hey, somebody said put them greens in the washing machine.
No, we taking no food in the bathroom. Nope, nothing. throw up face, washing machine. Hector said nasty. Mr. DW said fug. No. Keziah said period. Yep. All day. That's what I'm saying. Like, we ain't slow. We ain't, no offense to anybody with special needs. Now I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying, like, for real. Like, the moment that came out, and like some of these cats out here have my girl's mind a little twisted on some things too, right? And so I was like, baby, let's take a look at this, you know, because she knows like I'm smart. And sometimes she loves that. Sometimes she's like, come on, man, you know. So I was like, babe, look at this. Because I show her. The moment I show her, she sees it. She's like, oh, they're playing. And I was like, yes. Because she's very into this, but she comes at it from a different angle. You know what I mean? So I show her where the rubber meets the road. And the moment I do it, I show her, like, here's how you can identify that this document or this statement was BS. Oh, shot goes out to, what is that girl's name? It's a sister out there who was way off base, but she came into the fold of learning about what is her name? Candace Owens. I don't agree with everything that she said.
Oh my! Before you even get started on her, I did not like her when the George Floyd and all that stuff happened. I did not like her, but she's on point nowadays. Like, when you
she came, bro, she got dropped off on the turnip truck and was all in that BS, and then somewhere in there, I don't know if it was great grandmama or life or Jesus, but somebody was like, she was like, now that the taste is gone, I see the light. Because all of a sudden, because I was like, look at her being like, man, come on now.
Sure.
And then I go back in just to see what she was on. And she was talking right. Now, still, there's a couple of things where I would critique, but so say we all about different things and different people. Yeah. But she on point now. She on the right side of the riverbank. You know, so
I'll be watching her stuff now. I did not like Candace, but right before, you know, a few weeks before the election or something like that, a month before, I've been tuning in to Candace. Like, she on point. And then I think that talk she had with Kanye changed her mentality a lot too, because Kanye's like, blacks are Jews. Blacks are Jews. And I feel like she started doing her research, and then she started coming at them people. She started coming at the small hats. Reading the Bible verses, Revelation 2:9, saying, them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. She was talking to rabbis, reading them scriptures to them and all type of stuff. Like, so I feel like she didn't open her mind up a little bit.
Mr. Cool 80, yes, I've got a video on that. You can look me up on YouTube. Yeah, I have like 2 videos on that. Yeah, I'll tell you, the 2 sisters that I've been watching lately, for different reasons, is like I said, Candace Owens, and then there's Dee Marie, Dope Discussions, and she's like one of us. She be on it like sister be spitting fire. She mostly talks about like how a lot of these 304s out here are acting wild. And
I know who you're talking about, that black girl, and yeah.
I don't watch too many YouTube channels like that.
Mess with her.
Oh, she on point.
She on point. She a good one. Her husband got a good one, for sure.
Man, all day. Hey.
For sure.
She be keeping it real, and she be like, oh, just because like a man says it, or, you know, like, y'all don't want to listen to him, so I'll say it. You know, I'll say it for them. And she be like, and I know she be catching slack, like I be catching slack. You know, I don't know how you are with your channel, but I don't know if you be getting the emails, but most of them have kind of chilled out, because like I got most of my stuff either filtered, or else it's like, so if somebody else is checking my stuff, like it gets deleted. I don't even see half that stuff. And now I just tell people, like, look, before you reach out and try to troll me or something like that, get the article, read the code, and then we can discuss something. But don't tell me you feel some type of way because you're a lawyer or you're a police officer or whatever else. Because you guys don't know constitutional law. So we're not the same. And I've said it many times, until you've beaten judges and prosecutors who yielded to you, which is damn near impossible, because these cats know how to move the goalpost on you until you have victories like I do. Until, well, that's where I was going with my discussion, until there's lawyers out there, when my name is mentioned, they go, yeah, we know who he is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, they hear my name, they start filling out that motion to dismiss right away.
I had one judge the one judge I normally mess with, she must either retired or she was like, I'm going to let this new judge get their feet wet. This chick tried to run over me in my documents like, oh, we ain't no. And I was like, okay, this is how we finna do this. And then all of a sudden I got the notification, dismissed, no-lo. I was like, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I thought so. They always wait till right before I go to trial, then they dismiss it. Like,
I'll be honest, unless I've committed a crime, and I know how to handle that to a degree, we'll just say, my special appearance speaks for me. I don't step foot in hell. Why am I going to step foot in hell and give you any kind of jurisdiction? Y'all know what to do.
I hear that.
You know what I mean? So
I went in there and I pulled that. Okay, is this criminal or is this civil? Is this admiralty or maritime? I did that and I kept spinning them in loops, and they could not move forward. They could not move forward at all.
So shot goes out. Thank you for reminding me. Shot goes out to Sovereign Filing Solutions. I have used some of their information. They apparently know who I am. They sent people my way. Same with Eternal Zion. Obviously, do your own vetting of their materials and works, but let's just say all that stuff works. All right. There's 1,000 ways to deal with a court case and whatever else, as long as you have not damaged a living party with a complaint against you. All right. I'll be making some more videos and seminars on that. That will be fire. Y'all gonna need to get your hands on it. Just saying. But understand that you can't go out there and purposely do bad and wrong and then think that all this is just gonna save you. That's not how it works. Because if they can prove that you had mens rea, which means that you literally had the mindset to do something illicit, then it shoots down your case. All right, because you're trying to do a crime and trying to hurt somebody or whatever else, they're finna come for you and they finna make an example out of you. All right,
we don't play like that. Hey, if you injure somebody else or harm somebody else, you deserve to pay the consequence for that.
Hey, shot goes out to Julian. You are the first person, and right now the only person I see that sent in a donation. So peace and love to you, brother. Blessings and positive energy to your family over the holidays. Thank you for that. I know I'm a little rusty. I know some of y'all been like, where y'all been at? Where you been at? It's a lot of mental power to do between 4 to 7 to 8 consultations a day, putting out fires for people. I appreciate it and I love it because obviously it helps keep the light off for me and my family. And it helps to keep a lot of this knowledge fresh. Okay. Because for those people that don't know, I speak 4 and 5 different languages, but not fluently anymore because I don't use them every day. I don't get to talk Spanish, Greek, French, German, and whatever else on a daily basis. You start to lose some of it, except for some of my Mexican cats at the bar I go to, because they say when I get drunk, I be talking hella smack in Spanish. I don't be remembering. But they were like, hey, man, you were talking about this. And I'm like, I don't even remember. See, stay away from those tequilas. Some tequila. All right. Let's see what else we got in the hopper here. For people that get a 3 or 4 star on their passport, can they file again and get a 5? You can, but remember, now that they know how things are moving, a lot of times, this is just my thoughts. They know, if you look at the codes, 22 CFR 50, 51.2, something like that. It says people who get passports are all considered national. So basically, you're all considered national. You get a passport, but if you have a lot of U.S. citizen stuff on there, they scale it back to more citizen side or put you in the middle. So can you do it? Yes, I have seen people actually do it. That's how we know that it's legit. And for those people like, oh, the Wolf came up with the 5-star passport to sell his materials. No, I really didn't. There's a guy on the East Coast, very wealthy. This cat, private citizen, sent me his 127-page explanatory statement, which is how I know about the 5-star. I didn't know anything about it. I was just trying to get my passport to have that depicted. He was like, I see your channel. I've been watching you since you first got started. This guy is so wealthy. He was telling me stuff about that his family has generationally passed down heritage plates from when there was no plates to the first plates that were issued that are above anything. You can't even get these, those plates. They hand them, that's in the family. So this guy is moving on a whole different level. He introduced me to a 5-star. I said, well, what's a 5-star? I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And he showed me all this stuff. So I took his explanatory statement, stuff that I was already working on, combined it, found the new code, or not the new code, but the code, put it out there before anybody else, that I've ever seen. All right, put it in the explanatory statement. And then that's where all that came from. So there are people out there moving on different levels. And he basically went on to say that that yes, if you fill out your passport the right way, you get the standing, or if you want to call it a status, depicted internally, but the stars kind of coincide with it. So getting the passport filled out the right way, you have what you need. Just the different stars allegedly mean you're more so looked at as a diplomat the higher you get. So, but still, yeah, you're looked at as a national, and you're good. The passport, it works the way it's supposed to work. So can you do it? Yeah, but the way that I think that they're doing it now is they're grading it harder to almost use it as a money maker. Oh, we know you guys all want to get the 5-star. Okay, well, we're going to just give you this and let's see how much money we can make. So I'm telling people at this point in time, if you get a 3 and you're not satisfied, then it's up to you to do what you want to do to maybe update it. Other than that, don't trip. Just get it and do it right, because you're not going to get very few people get a 1 or 2. Average people get a 3, but with the process, you usually get a 4 or 5. So it's up to you. If you feel some type of way, it's your life. Go get it. Go get it done, son. But don't let them milk money out of you, if you get what I'm saying, on trying to get that. Because at the end of the day, you know what's really, other than needing to travel with it, you know what's actually better than that is you creating your own ID. Remember, the law states that anywhere where the government does not do something for you, you have the right to do your own. You can make your own file, you make your own ID. There's no law against it, 0. So create your own private ID, your own private name, and keep it moving. I will say this, I will not mention the name of this party. Floyd knows who this person is. They created their own national ID because remember, the government said in their paperwork, we do not see a reason to create a national ID, which means for a New Yorker, an Illinoisan, a Wisconsinite, a Floridian, a Texan, or whatever else, they don't make an ID that says that. So where they don't make one, you can make one. And I will say,
and then the cops get to looking at you like you're dumb, even though the State Department is the one that told you to do it.
Right. The State Department says that. And I will say this. Let me say this carefully because I already know who's all watching. The use of a private ID labeled properly has enabled a number of people to do a lot of things you would not think because you've never thought about using it for such things. That's all I'm going to say. So there's a lot of power in creating your own private ID with your own private name. Like I have one, I keep it. I don't even have my passport. I don't even really know where it is. When I use my vehicle for right to travel, I'm going to show them that because what happened to me, they took my name off the passport, ran it, seen that, didn't like what it said, and then pulled my old U.S. citizen information from a name off of it. So when I operate my vehicle in private travel, I have my own private name, which is not James C. Lovett on my private ID. That's how I operate. And all of my trust paperwork lists either James C. Lovett or this person as the trustee who can handle all of the materials, including the vehicle held privately under our state code 341.40, non-resident registration or foreign vehicle registration, and operating a vehicle privately, which means I'm not subject to the laws of the state, just using their stuff. That's all. There's no law against it. Someone might say, well, that's a fake ID. It can't be a fake ID. Fake ID means that I copied my state's ID to make it look exactly the same way, and I used their zip code. I didn't do that, so it's not a fake ID. They'll try to use that, and if they do, that's okay. I'll sue them for that.
They'll try to do that when you have traveler plates on too. They're like, oh, it's a fictitious plate. Like, no, it's not, because I'm not faking any plate. This is my own custom private plate. I'm
not in commerce, and my plate does not look like the state's plate. So it's not a fake or fictitious plate.
And by May, everybody should have a passport card by May, because by then you need the real ID just to travel domestically in the United States. Just to fly, you'll need a real ID. So by then, everybody should just get a passport card, because you don't need a real ID if you get a passport card.
Well, and that's why they've been promoting the real ID, is to combat all the people who are getting the passports done the way we're getting them done. We'll just say that's what I heard allegedly.
They ain't stopping this movement though.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, let me give you a little warning for everybody. Okay, exactly what Finest Thing Walking and James are talking about. Just because they have the ability to move this way, don't think you can go run out and surrender your license and put private plates on your car, take your registration inspection sticker off, and knock your tail light out and go riding around dirty and expect when you get pulled over on the side of the road that you're going to get out and tell this cop all this law that he doesn't know, that he hasn't been trained to understand, and he's going to arrest you and he's going to hold you accountable for being a combatant. So you don't want to hold court on the side of the road. If you know how to operate and you have the skills, the acumen, and the resources to defend yourself on the side of the road, and you can go into court and handle yourself, and you can handle the repercussions that may occur on that law enforcement stop, don't do it. I'm guilty of it. I surrendered my license, and somebody asked this question, and I'll address it without knowing the full process. When A6 came on, he's talking about, oh, yeah, we need to surrender our license. And one guy had found a form, and I can't remember where. And I went and found it in Texas. I went and did it with a private affidavit using their form. I bastardized it, made it my own. Well, that was the public side. I had no idea there's a public and a private side until Jesse went and did the same thing and then drove around, got pulled over, and like, no, you still got a license. It's right here. So he went in DPS and like, oh, no, you didn't surrender it on this side. Here's the form, sir. And he surrendered it on the public side using their form. But before you do that, you need to get your status corrected. So you go in and surrender it. You go right back into the line and get your driver's license if that's how you're going to move. So don't be an idiot like me. Surrender your driver's license and then travel to Puerto Rico and get there and like, oh shit, nobody's going to rent me a car without a driver.
That's the sucky part. That's why people always like, why you still got a license? Why you still got a license? It's like, bro, I'm on a plane leaving the state at least once every other week. You feel me? So it's like when I get to where I'm going, I need a rental car, and that's commerce, because it literally that car is part of commerce. So yes, I need the L's for that.
Do not do what I did and go to Puerto Rico and be stuck in San Juan for 3 weeks and be at the mercy of Uber, okay? And to travel to another city in Puerto Rico, $80 Uber one way, folks.
Nah, I'm cool. Yeah, so it comes in handy for certain things, but you just got to remember that belongs to your straw man and not you, you know? And then I don't sign my name on it. Like, if you look at my signature on my license, it say UCC 1-308.
Yeah, as somebody who's been pulled over twice for those things, had the car towed, and almost the third time until I got everything right. I can definitely say that. Watch all the videos on Right to Travel. I've got a live we did on it. I've got numerous videos. You have to have everything, and this does not make you above the law. All this means is that you overstand the law. It means you overstand what's going on. If you look up your state's legislative code, you would want to research how they refer to us when we operate privately and put our vehicles in a trust that's private. Okay, there's more steps to it, but these are parts of it. They refer to us as foreign nationals, and this would be what's known as foreign vehicle registration or non-resident registration. That's what they call it, okay? Because you are looked at as a resident. Remember, when you went and got that piece of mail with your name in capitalized letters and the zip code they told you to get the bank account or the driver's license, whatever, what did they say to you? They said you need to prove residency. So to prove residency means to prove to them that you are a resident, which means you left the Constitution in the United States of America to join their private membership as a resident. Resident. So if you became a resident, then the opposite of that, when you're operating privately, or especially before you gave them any of your information, means you were then, by their terminology, a non-resident. And they don't have jurisdiction over a non-resident operating privately under, what is it, UCC 9-109, private conveyance, property, personal house goods are all considered under there. So you're not doing it. But remember that the average police officer, other than the ones that I've educated and have come to me and who like this information, they don't know what you're talking about. So if you don't have all of your stuff square, they are going to chop you down. If you don't know what to say, if you have one leg still in the fire, what now? You guys watch my channel all the time, not to be gross, but it is what it is. You guys know I'm weird by now. I call this my dog poop cake theory. If you have a nice chocolate cake grandma made and someone takes a little tiny piece of dookie and puts it in there, and she stirs up and makes the cake, are you still going to eat the cake? Hopefully everybody said no, because that's how they look at the system. If you have that little piece of dookie, which is the straw man in their computer system, it taints everything you're doing. So if you're trying to do right to travel, but you still have this, that, or the other, your vehicle's not in a private trust, okay, your license hasn't been turned in, you haven't done the proper paperwork to close it out, you have one leg in the game. The last time I was bothered, Cameron Wilson. Somebody, what know Cameron? Does anybody know Cameron?
We call that half stepping.
Okay, all right. I was like, I don't remember sending Cameron. No offense, who is this? You know, I just got hacked. But if you have one leg in the game, they're gonna burn you down, and they have a right to do so because you still have something that ties you to the public. You have to be all the way out the correct way when doing certain things. Let's bring Cameron in. I assume he's a friend of Floyd. That's you.
What up, Cam, dog? My personal opinion, though, I feel like everybody, before they try to get out here and do right to travel on that, watch videos on that, like y'all said, but I think they should also watch auditors so they can see people standing on their rights and understanding their rights, even in the face of cops that's threatening them with all this stuff, you know? I feel like auditors are spreading a lot of people's rights, like making a lot of people aware of their rights too. And I feel like if you want to come up, you should probably go be an auditor before you get out here and do right to travel, because it's a lot of room for federal lawsuits against municipalities when you're an auditor. For sure, for sure.
All right. Yeah, so watch all the videos, and so you get comfortable with it. Don't just jump out there trying to do something, get jazzy, because they will chop you down. To answer Jillian's question, and then we'll get to Cameron. If I already have a 2-year-old normie passport card with 5 stars and process the revocation, can I get away with not using that? I will say technically you should be good. But I cannot vouch for how it's encoded. But normally, if you get a 5, it does mean that you're held to a somewhat educationally speaking diplomatic status. But don't quote me on that. You can always update it with the proper codes and things with the DS 82, and that should help to sway you over. But I just usually tell people if they happen to have lost it or whatever else to do everything brand new, because then you know for sure. Because once again, they're not going to share what all details, the 5-star, the 4-star, the 3-star, nobody officially knows, because it is considered national security. That's what the lady told me when I contacted the Department of State. So with that being said, let's jump over to Cameron. What's going on? How'd you get in here? Who this?
You sent me the link maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. All right. Like I was just.
How long did you have this link ready?
Well, I sent him over. I had just wrote a book, y'all. And
okay.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm James Bullock. That's my pen name, but I'm Cameron Wilson for real. So.
Okay. Before we get started, somebody hit me on the comments. I think his name is O.B.L. or something like that. O.B.L.
Okay.
Noble. He said, "How close did I get to trial before they dismissed the case?" It was always like literally right before trial start, like the court day before trial, or when I come into trial, they'll literally have a motion to dismiss waiting for me. They want to see how far you really gonna take it. But for a lot of this license plate stuff or simple stuff like that, registration stuff, if you do jury trial, the jury trial is going to cost more than what they can get out you in a fine. So just automatically, just off that, a lot of times they're going to dismiss it because they don't want to risk you coming in there and swaying these people, and now you changing the precedent, you know? So they ain't even going to risk it. If you choose jury trial for these little registration tickets or whatever, that costs more to get these jury in here than that fine they're trying to get, that little $200, $300 they're trying to get about you, you know?
Generally, most people who have done things my way when it comes to right to travel, I mean, we've got like a 98% success rate. Like it's just gangbusters, right? But what they do is they want to see if you're going to show up so they can see if they can try to give you just a default judgment. The way I write my papers, that don't work because I cut them off at the kneecaps so that the judge knows he can't do that. But anyway, generally what happens, you can even ask A6, who was nervous about his court scenario, that I was like, did you send him my paperwork? And did you know, he was like, oh man, no. And I was like, bro, if you don't quit playing and go send that out there and go get it done. So he did it, right? And everything I told him came to fruition. He was like, yep. He's like, they came out, they asked who's all here. Once they said my name, they said, we're going to hold you till last. So just sit tight. They came out. And then he goes, the prosecutor was like, well, you got lucky, Mr. Six, because we're so booked up today that he just dismissed it. And you just have a good day. Just have a good day. They're not going
paperwork too.
They're just going to
paperwork too before, and I'll beat the case with your paperwork. Real tough.
Well, that's what's so funny is that they don't want to. It's like today. Okay, I'm just gonna give a little bit of backstory. First off, you remember me, James. You covered me. Yeah. You covered me a while back ago with A6, and I was that guy that was like, we have no higher authority over me. They had put me in the handcuffs and everything, and then they let me go. And then he confirmed on the record that he knows the difference between travel. And then what else did he confirm? He said, oh, and I can't call. He was about to call me a sovereign citizen, but then he goes, oh, I can't call you a sovereign citizen. That's what this guy was, but you're not that. So they know, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? But
did you get that body camera? Did you get that body camera footage?
Yeah, bro, my shit's big.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, you gotta keep that for life. You gotta keep that.
That one's huge, bro. It's big online. I can't believe you ain't seen it yet. It's on my channel. Okay, so oh my God, I can't believe I'm on your show right now, bro. I've been watching you for like 6 years and wondering when I'll ever get to the point to be cool enough to be on your show. I'm like,
man, everybody's welcome. I usually open it up, but just not tonight. But next time I do one, I'll open it up. But yeah, no, I appreciate you being here. At first, I was because like I hit up like A6 and Floyd, Finest Thing, and you, and then a couple others because I was like, any of these guys,
my boy, A6, my boy.
Yeah. Where A6 at?
Huh?
Where A6 at?
He's got some family stuff going on right now. Otherwise, he would have been on here. He's and plus last time he got like a little ban for getting a little too jazzy. So that's why we have to be chill over here, okay, gentlemen.
That's my man.
You already know they popped me for a video when I first started this channel. All right, they were like, and it's been on here for all this time. They were like, oh, we just don't like how you phrase this in here, so. It's gotta be.
They've been doing that to me too. Like I ain't been on my YouTube for like a whole year and a half. But every now and then, like it'll be like a few months go by, they'll like delete one of my videos and give me a strike out of nowhere. And it's like, man, that video is old as hell, bro. Like
I forgot I even made the video. I was like, that didn't even mind. Then I was like, oh yeah, it's me. Yeah, it's me. Because that was back when I was talking about different things, not this is the main subject. You know what I mean?
But that's a funny point that you bring that up because every time I didn't got a strike or suspended was for a video that wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Well, Well, check it. I was going to say something on those technicalities that y'all was talking about earlier. I actually had somebody just this past Friday have that happen. So she ended up filing. She didn't file the motion to strike. She ended up filing the abatement, and then she ended up filing a memorandum in support of the abatement, and they were tripping out. They were trying to give her all the scare tactics. She's in court. I got all the text messages. They're scaring her. They're talking loudly so that she will hear, to intimidate her and make her feel like they're like she's gonna go to jail. She's trying to represent herself. She wasn't doing it. They came up to her and tried to get her to plea again. They came up again one more time, and she said, "I'm not doing that, y'all. I'm gonna present myself first." She went up there and they dropped all of them, all on a technicality, talking about. In one section, it said one address, then the ticket said another address. They don't ever want to confirm it on the record. They always want to find that technicality. But I'm telling you, man, you go in there standing strong. Nope.
Let me tell you, the very first, for those people who don't know, the very first case I did at 19, I was speeding. I'm not going to admit I probably was. I've slowed down since then because it ain't even worth it now. But so I got a speeding ticket, and I was like, I'm going to beat it because I've just started really getting deep into like how to deal with court, right? So as I'm looking up stuff, I started learning that like depending on the time of day, the weather, the road conditions, the radar gun, was it tuned? I had everything, every little thing. I read court cases until I couldn't see straight. I was ready. And then as I'm rereading the ticket, I had read somebody else's work, and they were like, any errors you can find are a way of showing that the ticket is imperfected, because what they bring to you has to be perfected. Everything has to be perfect. So I looked at it, and it had the date was different than the physical day that it actually was. It was like a Wednesday that it happened, but it had 19's written date, right? So I was like, okay, I'll use that as a backup. So I get there, I'm in there waiting. They're like, oh, is Mr. Lovett here? Because they went through everybody. They're like, oh, how are you going to plead? I was like, not guilty. He was like, okay. And I was like, okay. Because I didn't know I was the prosecutor who I was going to have to battle. So I'm jazzy, right? He's like, well, it's me who you're going to have to battle. So give me what you got, Mr. Lovett. You got 5 minutes. I was like, and my brain was like, bro, do what you know how to do. Because literally it might seem weird. I'll pace my house going through court cases and battling myself back and forth. Woo, how can I shut him down? How can I beat the guy who just shut me down? So when I snapped out of it, I was like, okay, let's go with woo. And I went through all these things. We're battling back and forth. He's like, okay, you're going to use the radar gun. He's like, but we've got the printout for it that it was tuned properly. We're going back and forth. I went through all that stuff and I'm tired. I'm like, man, I was like, well, I'm going to drop my ace card. I said, okay, well, what about this? I was like, here's the date and here's the whatever. And this man like looked at his watch, look at the date. He was like, you're right, Mr. Lovett. Well done. I can't beat that. Started scribbling, case dismissed, dropped the case. I'm like, yeah. So I walk in there. I had my briefcase, my suit, my tie on, everything. I have nothing in my briefcase at all. But I walked in there looking the part. State of blah, blah, blah versus Mr. James. Case dismissed. Mr. Lovett, how did you get my prosecutor to drop the case on you in the hallway before even coming in here? I've never seen that in 25 years of my profession. And I said, well, I'm glad you asked, Your Honor. And he goes, nope. Whatever you guys have figured out is good enough, because he didn't want me telling the secrets to everybody in front of the court case. So that goes off of what Finest Thing was talking. Floyd knows, and you too. They don't want you spreading this on their dime. They don't want you to know. It has to be perfected. So he's like, never mind, case dismissed. Have a good day. I'm walking out. I'm like, I'm sweating. Okay. And he's like, Mr. Lovett, can I ask you a question? I give this to God. Okay. It's the man up above to whom thanks I give. I was like, Your Honor, you have permission to ask me a question. Everybody was like, you gave the judge permission to talk? What? Now you got lawyers and everybody looking at me. Now I'm sweating more because I, especially at that time, did not do good in front of people at all. Zero, right? So I'm remaining cool. I'm just like, okay. I was like, yes, Your Honor, you may ask me a question. He goes, well, Mr. Lovett, you walk like a lawyer, talk like one, dress like one. Obviously, you can handle yourself. Are you practicing law? You know how they try to stick you up with that. They try to get you in that little jammy spot, right? I didn't know nothing like I know now. So the natural thing that came out of my mouth, so this is to God, I said, I just studied this in the private. That's what I did, because that's what I do. I'm keeping it G. So he goes, looked at me, kind of smiled like, oh, you caught my trap there. I didn't know he was trying to set me up, right? And I go, yeah, I just do this in the private. He goes, you do this for fun? He goes, well, all I know is we would love to have somebody like you on our side, Mr. Lovett. And I said, well, thank you, Your Honor, but I do this for the people, but you have yourself a good day. And I walked out of there sweating my ass off. But I was cutting my teeth. And people are looking at me like I was Blade from like the Blade movie, like I was a daywalker, like it's him, And I walked up out of there, like, now that I got blood taste in the water, I can do this. I'm built for this.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you on mine. Okay, I'm gonna tell you on mine. All right, so today I've had these trolls. They won't leave me alone because they're like, show us your court. You know what I'm saying? They're like, we want to hear your court. Tell us how. So I uploaded a transcript audio today from one of my courts with the documents of the dismissal, right? But when I was there, I was in my 3-piece suit too, right? And I was that 3-piece, bro. I'm in that thing, So I got my briefcase. I had a folder in there, and I had all my paperwork ready. Extra motions if I need to file them. And when I go up to the podium, I do my thing. We get done. And behind me is an attorney. I think she's a public defender. And when I see the public defender, she comes up to me as I'm walking away from the podium now, and she goes, good job. She reaches out her hand. She goes, good job. Just like that, right? I go, oh my God. I get goosebumps. They're going down like my spine and everything. I'm like, oh my God, bro, this is so weird, bro. I'm like, okay, act normal, Cameron. Act normal. Just, throw up the chin a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then I get out into the hallway and another lawyer asks me, hey, I just wanted to ask, what law firm are you out of? I said, sir, it's just me. And I walked off, bro. It was the coolest feeling ever, dude. It was so cool.
And these are true stories, everybody. All right. You know, this is our experiences. It takes time to get this knowledge and to get confident with this. But yeah, they're going to test you. But when you walk right and you're icy, as I like to say, they can't touch you. They're just like, hey, psh. I had one country dude hit me up. He was like, "Oh, Mr. Lovett."
Before you start your story, man, hit that like button. We got 200 people in here. We should have around way more likes than that, man. Go ahead, get them likes up. Get them likes up for my man before he even tell his story, man. Get them likes up. Come on. That's gonna get more people in here. That's gonna get us on them sidebars. That's gonna get us on them front pages, them home pages. Hit that like button, man. If you in here, you listen to the story, you learning something. If you getting something up out of this, hit that like button, man, for sure. But my bad for interrupting you. Continue.
You good, brother? Well said. I should throw that out there too. So yeah, hit that like, guys, because doing that helps to combat the people who want to put a thumbs down and the algorithm. So then YouTube is forced to show it when you guys know they don't want to show this. So do that thing that y'all do. But thank you for all those people who have, will, and you know all that good jazz. But real quick. So this country dude, old cat, was like, "Oh, Mr. Lovett, I watch your videos all the time, and I went in there and I did all the proper things you said, and then I brought my birth certificate in there, and I told him this is what it is, and he gave it to him. And he's like, and he goes, the clerk looked up and smiled and said, 'Well done,' and they dismissed the case against me. I had one guy email me. He's like, 'Well, if I use your information, I was looking at 10 years, blah blah blah.' He's like, they dropped all that." I'm working on like 2 or 3 different cases. I don't want to say too much, but one involves, I'll give you this part. One involves nudity from the waist up with a female in Florida, we'll just say. Mm-hmm. And I told her, like, pull the definition of the word nudity from your state's legislative website and then get back to me. And she comes back, she's smiling. She's like, it says that nudity is defined as male or female genitalia. And I was like, and that's it? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, your case is won. I was like, they can't get you for indecent exposure with your breast because nudity, which is how they have the ticket defined, means the vajayjay or the hang down. So you're good. But when she started kind of going into it, they were like, well, we're gonna just dismiss the nudity and get you for disorderly conduct. And I said, well, they got a problem with that too, because all this was based on the initial charge, which wouldn't have happened. You only resisted because you knew the rights. So don't worry about it. And they're still like trying to go get her, trying to rile her up. And I was like, don't even trip. I was like, when the day comes, you're going to do this, this, and this, and watch what happens. And even if they do railroad you, then we're going to sue them in the federal court because they're breaking their own law. Because by definition, which is where the legal department comes from, which is what we know, is how to contest that. I know some fire information, like I said, that I may or may not put some more of that level out there, but all I'm going to tell you guys is this. When you have a ticket and you look at certain words being used on there, go to their website. This is one of the things I've learned since day one. Find their definitions of what keywords they're using and hold it to them. And you will be amazed, because a lot of people sitting in jail and prison right now wouldn't be there if they would argue just that one point.
Facts. That's facts.
Hey, I got something.
It'd be little stuff. Just like what I was talking about earlier, that Reno versus Condon, that Supreme Court case where the Supreme Court decided that registering your private information with the state DMV and using a motor vehicle is interstate commerce. Like, real talk. Like, that's in a Supreme Court case. Like,
you saying something about information
stuff like that could save a lot of stuff. But it's a lot of stuff that people don't know. Like, every time a cop gives you a ticket, it's dang near a violation because of why. A lot of times it's backed by threat of arrest. So if you don't show up on that court date, then they'll issue a warrant. That means that was not just a notice to appear; it was a summons.
It was a contract. That's how they get you. You're breaking contract law because you didn't appear. That's how they get
it. I don't never sign it anyways. But they'll still like I got them in federal court right now because of that, because he issued me a ticket and I didn't show up and they issued me a warrant. So I got them in federal court over that right now, because only somebody under the judicial branch can sign a notice, like a official summons, can actually summon you to court. So they're allowing cops to summon us to court, and cops are under the executive branch. Only somebody under the judicial branch can do that. So it's a violation of the Separation of Powers Act, and it's a violation of your due process,
My
because
man.
only somebody like a clerk or a judge can sign a summons, or put a summons on you that's backed by law.
Well, in the administrative law, the judges, if you look at administrative law, the judges are classified as nothing more than the highest clerk. They're not even called judges by administrative law itself. They're the highest clerk of their own municipal corporation. That's all it is.
Yeah, and
It's like
administrative law
Walmart,
is
bro.
not an
It's like,
actual judge. That's why they
yeah,
use administrative law for like child support and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's kind of like arbitration at your leasing agency.
Yeah,
That's
no,
how,
seriously.
that's the
A lot
same
of people don't know.
comparison.
Most of them don't even know. Think about it. If we've spent years and this and that learning this, a cop becomes a cop in less than 9 months. And they know traffic infractions, corporate law for public U.S. citizens. They don't know the rest of this. They only hear lightly, oh yeah, well there's constitutional law, but you don't worry about that stuff. And they go on. So when they're on their little horse trying to tell you barking orders, they're the little bully, in the sandbox, talking from all that they know. They don't know any of this stuff. They don't have access directly to the legal
Because none of that
department.
stuff is even law. Statutes, regulations, policy, all that stuff is not law, because what's the 3 elements required for a law? A title, an enacting clause, and a body. A title, an enacting clause, and a body. I guarantee every state, when you go look at your vehicle code, it does not have an enacting clause.
Most of these places, from banks to the DMV to the police to the court, most of them are violating you on a daily basis. But you, me, all of us, we know more than the average person, but the average person doesn't know any of this, and they don't know where to look or what's going on, and they enjoy that. So that's just called good business.
Yeah.
And the government won't get involved in your private business, which is what this is, unless you pull what we call the public, but it's really private, into the real public. Then the government can say, oh, you guys are denying some constitutional rights? Smack that. That's it. They're going to come down on them, because that's what they're there to do. Because they're really, those people, those places are all doing international business. And when they're in that capacity, they are not legally, or rather lawfully, Americans.
Well, you know what I find,
citizens.
When I find interesting about what you said earlier too, is you said they just, it's a test, and it's not so much. I mean, it's a test of knowledge, right? We've figured out that. We figured out it's a test of knowledge and how you can apply that knowledge. And when they try to trip you up, are you able to overcome each obstacle that they place in front of you, right? So we figured out that it's the knowledge that really is the key. But then also the other spectrum or side of that test is your spiritual test, right? Are you willing to allow someone else to dictate who you are as the highest authority with all power, right? Because if the line of authority goes God, then man, which is a creation of God, which is a part of God, then government, then the state, then the county, then the city. It's like we are letting the people at the very lowest part of the totem pole have the most power, have the power over the one who has the most. It's like, how do you not spiritually understand who you are? That is the core essence, knowledge, but then that spiritual aspect that allows you to understand that no one can tell you what to do, period. I don't even care what contract you got in place, homie, because if I didn't know that back end of everything that was not properly disclosed in the first place is null and void. You can kiss my ass with that shit. And I don't mean to be rude, but I am the highest of authority, and ain't nobody gonna tell the king what to do.
Absolutely. Now, this is the issue with law enforcement. Law enforcement goes through the police academy or sheriff's academy or whatever institution they're with. They get the basic fundamentals of right and wrong, what the laws are. Mostly traffic, your basic laws of robbery, what an aggravated robbery, kidnapping, murder, theft, credit card abuse, stealing cars, shit like that. They don't go in and study the penal code and know the penal code from start to finish. They don't know the rules of evidence of the court on state or federal level. They don't know the rules of criminal procedure. They just know the fundamentals. And as they get on their job and they actually get out in the field, they get that OJT, the on-the-job training. So anytime that they are the primary or a secondary on any type of charge, and they have to go to court to sit through this trial, they're learning there as well. They're getting their education from the prosecution. So how do you think that's being bent? So that's where their education is coming from. That's what they're bringing to you on the side of the road. It's your job to know what your rights are and what the law actually is. It's not the time and place to do that, to debate with somebody who doesn't understand anything you're saying. That's why James and everybody here will tell you, you play in their sandbox with their toys. Don't bring your own toys because they're not going to recognize your toys. They're going to categorize it. Oh, that's that sovereign citizenship. And then you're screwed from there on out. So be careful what you do. If, like me, my last name's Tarvin. So usually when I go to court, I kick back and I'm going to be the last one to call, or one of the last. If you're the first one to call, that's a good sign, because they're probably going to give you a dismissal and get you right out of the courtroom right off the bat. They don't even want to save you to the end because they know you're going to squash them like a bug. So if you do everything preliminary before you even have to go to trial, because you always want to go to jury trial, because that's when you get to put the officer on the stand and you get to ask him, what traffic code was I violating? Can you repeat that for me word for word? No. Oh, you don't even know what section it's under? Okay. Well, let's go to the Texas Constitution and start talking about that. Because what most people don't know, and this is probably something similar, definitely in Tennessee that I know of, because that's where it got adopted from in Texas. But under Article 1, Section 10 in Texas, you cannot be compelled to give evidence against yourself, as opposed to the Fifth Amendment, which was already in place at the time Texas became a state in 1836, that you cannot be compelled to give testimony against yourself. So I had to do a case on DNA database and went and researched and read the St. Mary's Law review on Article 1, Section 10, specifically under that clause, because Stephen F. Austin traveled to Mexico City to meet with then President and General of the Army, Maximilian, to negotiate the border for the upcoming Tejas, or state of Texas, or Republic of Texas, and they held him captive. So when he came back, they met at Washington on Brazos to draft the Texas Constitution. They reiterated that, hey, we need to adopt that greater protection that you Tennesseans, you volunteers over here in Texas trying to establish this, put in place, because we need greater protection than what the United States provides. So they don't even know this. You cannot be compelled to give evidence against yourself. So when they tell you to take a standardized field sobriety test for DWI and you refuse, they tell you to take a breath test, you refuse, in Texas, you're enforcing your rights. Now, with the appellate courts, the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals or the 14 courts of appeals or Texas Supreme Court even look at it and uphold the Texas Constitution? Sadly, no. They will not enforce the Texas Constitution. I think they use it as toilet paper. So those are your rights. But the chance for you to get in there and show this to the public, to a jury of your peers, because now it's your chance to educate them. And they don't want you in there going, hey, Article 1, Section 10, I can't be compelled to give evidence to myself. Here it is. Here's the Texas Constitution. Jury, would you like to read this? How about you, prosecution? Judge, do you know about this? And that's where you get them on their technicalities with their toys in their sandbox. That's how you win. That's how you get them to tell you, hey, next time you have a problem, you call this phone number. Don't come to the courthouse.
Hey, Floyd, I be using that no corpus delicti.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I be using that no corpus delicti and no verified complainant. That one gets them. That one gets them. They don't like that one.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different fires in the iron that you can pick up and utilize. The problem is you're ignorant and you don't have the knowledge to even know what's in the fire that you can go grab at your disposal. If that knowledge is already in your head and they come at you this way, and then all of a sudden this number one chair, okay, that's the lead prosecutor in that court, they come in and they're overlooking and go, oh, hey, whoa, no. What you got going on here? And they throw you a different angle, but you already know what's in the fire. And you go, ha ha ha. You want to play that game? I got you.
Hey, have you been able to use anything in relation to the Chevron deference being repealed yet?
Not yet. I don't know if you
I have.
But yeah, that's going to come into play big time January 20th, 2025.
It's already coming. It's already coming in play. I've already used it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we used it already. It's working, bro. So just utilizing the aspect that's already been repealed, they're already starting to shut stuff down, bro. Because again, what does that state? They have to quit going back to their own statutory state rulings and going back to the federal government's rulings. They have to go back to the Supreme Court. They can't just be like, oh, well, a WRS or ORS or the revised codes of whatever. No, that ain't gonna work no more, bro. Chevron's gone, bro. So yeah, man, it's cool. It's about to be live. Like, this is about to be really crunk for all travelers from now on. They have to go back. Yo, y'all ain't had more action ever in your life. I'm gonna be right back and get some tea.
Yeah. Remember this, folks, okay? And this is one of the things I was trying to do on my show is everybody on the private side, as far as all the way over to the sovereign citizen and all these people trying to do the private process. And then you get into the conservatives, you get into the Republicans, you get into the QAnons, you get into the MAGAs, and then you get into the far right wing. Guess what? All of those people, which is the majority of the United States of America, they know about the straw man. They know about the birth certificate bond. They know about the Sesame KV trust. They know about all of that. So those people over in the QAnon, they've infiltrated the MAGA movement and they understand what's going on. So those people are kind of looking for the relief too. So don't be surprised. And this is why I say 2026 is such an important election. It's probably, I'm not going to say it's more important than 2024, but it's just as important because it'll allow us to take more control to seek the freedoms and privacy that we want and less tyrannical government. So that's on every level, and it's up to us. We are the white hats, folks. I've been telling you all this. Trump's going to come in there, and Trump can only do so much. He still has to pacify those big industrial complexes, big pharma, big agri, the military industrial complex, the tech industrial complex. Those people are very, very powerful. They will wait for you to get on a plane and make something happen. So
yeah, something was loose.
Yeah. And it's at the point where my associations are getting up to another level. I was actually talking to somebody earlier today about security, what that's going to look like in the future for me moving forward, as well as them moving forward. So there's a lot on the horizon, folks, and just, be patient. You have a conduit into real intel, inside information via me through my contacts. So my show used to cover a lot of private stuff and share my experiences and the processes that I would vet to make sure that they were real or not. And I've gotten away from that. I've gotten more into the news category, searching for truth, exposing people, putting people like Governor Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton, putting them on Front Street, calling them out as the frauds and treasonous actors that they are that allowed this illegal immigration to come right through the Texas border. They didn't do anything to stop it. Nothing. For 3 years, they had 60 plus billion in surplus. They're like, how do we spend this money? I'm like, you have a private army and go down and stop illegal immigration. And then 3 years later, what does Greg Abbott do? He sends a Texas National Guard down there. Then he overtakes the federal compound in that park. And then he says, oh, well, we're going to build the Texas National Guard a compound so they can operate. Well, why didn't you do that into 2021, Greg? Because you allowed it to happen. So I hold people accountable. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Trump. I don't care if you're a judge, even my own district court judge. I call out the parole board here in Texas, the director, the assistant regional directors called me twice. The regional directors called me twice on my cell phone. Hey, Mr. Darvin, blah, blah, blah. Shit rolls downhill. It ends up to her. And she calls me. So I deal with these people. Just be patient. Be vigilant on what the future looks like. And we have to keep the pedal on the metal on the pedal and keep this thing rolling forward. Because if we don't, there's no telling what they're going to do to take back their power, because you know how power rarely cedes power.
Well, if you hear what like Cash Patel's saying, though, that dude interests me like crazy. Like, I don't know if you ever seen anything about this dude named Cash Patel, but I like what he's saying. And if we can get more people in like that, we might be okay.
Things are changing. There's a new wind. There's a new wind, and it's looking right. And as somebody, when I first started seeing all of this moving like in the wrong direction, I'm like, man, it's going to be, as my mom would always say, God rest her soul, it's always going to be darker before the dawn, and that's where we're at. And the things I've seen in the last year or two.
And don't for a minute rest on your laurels.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Don't sit back on your laurels and rest and think that between now and inauguration that nothing's going to happen.
Right.
Be prepared for anything to happen, and don't surprise, the county, state, where we know that
we ain't know yet.
I like to think that, they say, get the popcorn, wait for the movie, trust the plan. Well, I don't think the movie started yet. Everybody thought the movie had already started, and we're going to see all these arrests and all that stuff. I think that's going to start January 20th. So I think everybody should get their popcorn once we see that hand go down. And,
for sure.
Take that oath, and it's on.
I think that's when it's going to start, too. I think we finna start seeing some politicians get locked up.
Yeah, there's some things finna happen. Cameron, I'll wait till he gets back. I was gonna say, so for me, I'm a little over the time that I was gonna to be on, so we're gonna wrap it up, guys. But if everybody here hang out after I shut it down, so you guys can communicate, share information if you guys want to do that. But Cameron, people are asking where they can find you at in contact with you. So I guess
somebody else go first. I got to put my daughter on the potty. She's going crazy.
Okay, do your thing, brother.
My YouTube is my name right there. You can see it right there. Just search it up on YouTube. You'll find me.
There you go. As you see right here on my name, The Fearless Floyd Show, everywhere on every social media platform. If you can't find me, Google my name. You'll see all I can see all of them. You're going to see some of the legal stuff that I've done, that I am a multi-published litigator. I'm in the books. I've done more than most attorneys will. If you're interested in trust class, trust book, go to my website, fearlessfloydshow.com. If you want to reach me, go to my website, go all the way down to the bottom of the homepage. My cell phone number's on there right here. I answer my phone. As you see, I told Daisy K to call me at 9:30. She called me at 9:33, and we had a little discussion. My phone works from 9 to 9 Central Standard Time. Otherwise, I don't answer it. Doesn't work. It shuts off automatically. So that's how you can reach me. I want to thank our guests for coming on here. Finest thing walking. And Cameron, we've never met, so it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. And James, as always, thank you for having me on, man. It's always an honor. And I would like everybody, as we close out, after Cameron and James do their closing, that we say a little prayer for A6 and his family issues. Is that okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. And
all right, Cameron, the floor is yours, brother.
What? I get the floor on the B.A.D.W.O.L.F channel, bro? This is crazy. Okay, dude. All right. I don't even know what to say, man. Okay. All right. Dude. Okay. Yeah, I'm Cameron Wilson. You can find me on Power Inherent in the People on YouTube. I just wrote my first book on the right to travel that includes all of my experiences. It's been a long time in the coming. As you can tell, my channel is now putting all my footage up, but it's been about 4 years, y'all. I just was quiet. I was a ninja in the background. So, yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Where can we buy your book, bro?
You can, you can buy it on my website. But yeah, if you just go to Power Inherent, the People channel, there's enough links there. You can go right to my website. You'll find it.
And how much is your book?
I think I have. Well, if you want to get an EPUB, there's a package. So you have a digital package or you get a hard copy. So if you want to get the digital package comes with a PDF, an ebook, and an audiobook. And the audiobook sounds good. Okay. It's not no low quality. Okay. It's good. It's got even the breaths and everything like as they're reading. It sounds great. You can get that. You can get that for $12.36. So $12.36. Or you can get the hard copy. I think it's like $15.
Okay. Are you self-published or do you have a publisher that does this?
I just self-published. I ain't even gone on Amazon yet because I heard they take 40%, bro. And I'm like, what the heck? No.
Put the PDF version on there.
Okay. As you know, brother, I am a book publisher. I publish this book.
All right. Well, hey, why don't you reach out to me? Let's talk a little bit.
Oh, we finna do that right after we knock this down. So you got that coming. All right. So this has been a fire live, and as people were asking in there, they were like, we should do this weekly with everybody. As you know, I don't have the stamina Floyd does for a weekly, and I'm pretty sure my lady would kill me. So, because she's already hit me up, she's like, "So, did it go good? Are you done yet?"
Yeah.
But we will do more of these, definitely. I got kind of chill, relaxed from not doing them and forgot how much I love doing them. And just had to get the taste back in my mouth. So now that's back in there. Other than the holidays will be a little rough, but I'll try to sneak one in there because I got a suit that I want Floyd to check out.
We're bumping our game up.
Oh, suit, pants. We didn't stop at shirts, bruh. Shirts, suits, every team, okay? So we finna get it in there. But once again, guys, everybody watching, thank you for supporting. Take away from this what you need, and if you don't need it, leave it where it be. It might be something that you resonate with later on in the future. This is all education and entertainment. These are our experiences, and yours may vary. Be safe in everything you do. Do not jump into anything from anybody half-cocked. Learn everything. Become damn near like a professor at what it is before doing it. A lot of people are like, well, I just didn't do that part. No, there's a reason why Cameron and A6 and me and Floyd and Finest Thing, we've been through these things. You have to have it. We have ironed out. We are trailblazers for you guys. And God rest Jackie Fig for putting this out there. She's one of the first people I've ever seen to talk about right to travel and whatever else, help to inspire me to do it. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy the holiday season. Reach out to people if you're alone. Don't just be alone if you don't have to. Most of the time, if you even have one good person to say, hey, what are you doing? Do you have an extra? Just do that, okay? For many years, I didn't move that way. I was very much Batman, all right? So trying to get out of that state. Live your life. Be careful. Vet, once again, to reiterate, vet the information. Double check everything, but also have a certain, what do they say, like French say, je ne sais quoi, where because that if you go to some of these agencies, until you talk to the manager, and that's if the manager is going to speak to you from his private side and privately, are they going to give you certain information? Okay, so you have to do your work so that you understand every bit, every brick in that building, it personally, so that if and when you're challenged, you can say, well, I did this for this reason. This is why this is here. I did this. Where did I mess up at? Show me. Okay, because they don't speak private. So you have to show them how you're not in the public when you're doing these things. Well, your registered motor vehicle. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I canceled the registration, and it's not a motor vehicle; it's a private conveyance. But go on. Must be owned by somebody who's actually foreign. Well, my trust is foreign. Here's the trust. It owns it. I'm just operating it. You have to know all these pieces. So watch the videos I have. Get Cameron's book. Holler at Floyd. Finest Thing can walk you through it too. But get all of it until you can literally like, oh, I've got this done. I got this. I've got an affidavit. I got my trust. When you have all of it, because these people will chop you off at the kneecaps if they can. Because if you have one shred of anything they can use against you by their legal system, by their law, okay, not the law, but their law, they can do that. That's like if I tell people any girl in this nightclub with a B.A.D.W.O.L.F t-shirt on, you know, is finna come to the after party. All right. Then that means you're qualified. And if some girl's like disrespecting the t-shirt, I can be like, well, look, you already gave me jurisdiction over you. You're wearing the t-shirts. What are you doing? You know, I can, it seems weird, but that's how they play. And that's all we've ever known. But now we know more and better. So vet everybody's information and take care of yourselves. Do not be out there as a belligerent combatant, at least not physically. You can be that on paper, okay? But done the proper way when defending yourself. That's what the Constitution is there for. And we have something here that most places do not have. And let me tell you guys this. If the United States of America falls, the world falls. Because they're doing this everywhere. I get people from Australia. I got natives in Canada, and they're all watching my channel. They're watching you guys. You guys are now, if you guys already weren't, you guys are out there too. They're going to be looking at your stuff to lead the way. Because they're like, hey, we need help down here. We're getting it like you guys are getting it. All right. So go out there, be safe, everybody. Have a great holiday season. Be healthy, and just keep going. Just do what you guys do. Live life and enjoy yourselves.
Hey, James, one more thing. Congratulations on 5 million views, bro. That's major. That's major.
No, for sure.
That's major.
Yeah, YouTube just hit me with 5 million views. We're at 75,000, and we're projected to get over that 100,000 pretty quicker than I expected. I'll say that. So thank you, guys, the panel here, and everybody watching, because y'all are helping me to get here. And as somebody who like never thought I would be sitting here, never had this. This is a dream of mine, and you guys are making that happen. So thank you for letting me wake within the dream, because it's huge for me. So thank you guys. I mean it. You guys literally are my family. Most of them have passed away. So I get on here and talk to you guys. I spend more time talking to you guys than some of my own family. So I treat and respect and look at you guys as that. So thank you guys for being a part of this, and can't stop, won't stop. We're just going to keep bringing it to you guys because you guys want it and you guys deserve it. And this is your birthright. All right.
Absolutely.
So all right, guys, that's it. Thank you guys for signing on. The rest of you guys hang out for
prayer for A6.
Oh, yes.
All right, everybody. In the name of our own divine authority, may we all send our grace, our gratitude, our healing, our blessings to A6, Anthony Lawson, and his family. And we all desire and wish him happy holidays and recovery from all issues that he and his family may have encountered. In the name of our Heavenly Father, amen, everybody. Thank you. Good night.
Amen. All right, guys. And may whatever deity, God, or whatever else you believe in that's of positive light and good nature have mercy on you guys, protect you, and let no enemy or their weapon formed against you have any standing in your life. So go out there, be your best. Do a little bit better each and every day, and take care, guys. Have a good night.
Good night. Happy holidays.